Well, the outcome of the three previous quarterfinals here at Euro 2012 was never really in doubt. That's why Spain will play Portugal next Wednesday in Donetsk, and Germany will play the winners of this one in Warsaw the following evening. I think this one will be much more difficult to call than the previous three. The two teams, Italy's first of all. The goalkeeper and captain is Buffon. The defence, Abate, Barzagli, Bonucci and Balzaretti. Then in midfield, Pirlo, Marchisio, Montalivo and De Rossi. Finally, Balotelli and Cassano. England are unchanged. The goalkeeper is Hart. The defence is Johnson, Terry, Lescott and Cole. Then in midfield, Milner, Gerrard the skipper, Parker and Young. Then Rooney, then Welbeck. There are 4 England players with yellow cards against their names, so all will be anxious not to provoke another yellow tonight, but there are no less than 6 Italians on yellow cards. Will that have an effect, Chris?
I don't think Italians will bother. They do what they have to do, don't they? I think England players, I think no. You don't want to miss games, do you? But the ones who are under the yellow cards, James Milner, very competitive, tracks back, helps out, can't give fouls away. Steven Gerrard's been brilliant in this tournament, very physical, that's when he has to be. So he could easily pick one up as well.
Perhaps one good omen for England tonight is the referee. He's from Portugal, Pedro Proença, and he was the referee, remember, in the Champions League final in Munich when Chelsea triumphed against Bayern. Can he bring this England side good fortune as well? We are waiting, of course, as we tend to do, for this ludicrous countdown from 10. Somebody had this idea. Perhaps that someone should be shot. They're certainly not allowed to put it into the European Championship in France in 4 years' time. Everybody's ready. The referee wants to get the game underway. He's looking to the sidelines. The sidelines are waiting for television to say yes, and then we'll get the countdown. I don't know how the referee can time it in such circumstances. It is ludicrous, Chris. Perhaps he's got them ready a minute early, Perhaps he's got them ready to kick off a fraction early. But here comes the moment you've all been waiting for. We're underway. The last of the quarterfinals here in Kiev. The stadium isn't full. There are pockets of empty seats, but there's no question that the England fans dominate the Italians. I'm not quite sure how many extra England fans headed east to Kiev for this game, but I gather the airports back home were very busy. Italy all in blue, defending the goal to our right in the first half. England all in white. Pirlo heads the ball forward. Cassano flicks it on the volley to Balotelli, and let's hope his shooting remains like that for the rest of the evening.
I don't know what he's thinking. You can see already, look, the Italians are pressing. I thought they would. They've obviously seen England play deep, and they're going to press the ball as high as they can and get it back early. Joe Hart's kicked that out of play. Bit nervous start on England, who are playing very deep. You can see the Italians' game plan. Press that back forward as high as you can.
Well, look, England 2 banks of 4. Rooney just ahead of the foremost 4, and then Welbeck relatively on his own. I think Rooney will spend a lot of time in midfield. The ball's on the far side of the field with Italy, and it's curled forward. Abate up from right back, crosses into the penalty, and Terry under pressure there. I think Hart coming towards him confused the England central defender, and he was lucky to get the ball away.
He hesitated, and Joe Hart thought he could get up, would give Balotelli credit. He's turned the pace, got in, panicked John Terry. Not the best clearance, but he got away with it.
Ball's coming towards this near touchline. That's the Italian left in the first half. It's Will with Balzaretti of Juventus, or rather Palermo. What am I talking about, Juventus? And now in midfield, De Rossi to the near side, and Balzaretti again. Back it goes. De Rossi flicks the ball forward in the direction of Balotelli, only half blocked by Lescott. The back heel by Cassano, and the cross into the penalty area was overhit, thankfully from an England perspective, and it's away to the far side of the field. Abate, the right fullback, keeps it in play for Italy. Italy have made the brighter start to the game. Back to Andrea Pirlo, who had a long chat with Roy Hodgson when the Italian team arrived. He plays it back into the centre of his defence, and England already heavily on the defensive. Abate again on the far side of the field. 2.5 minutes gone here in Kiev. You're listening to 5 Live in the BBC. England 0, Italy 0. I suspect there are England fans with that chant in the far left hand corner, but they'll be slightly concerned at the way England have started. Is it a matter of keeping it tight, Chris, and then
it's keeping it tight,
eventually we can move forward?
Again, it's that team shape, isn't it? But you've got to give Italy credit. They've started very bright, movement, tempo, everything what you want, taking the game.
Abate to Marchisio on the far side of the field, and he pulls the ball back. The shot by De Rossi on the target, hits the post. Italy very close to taking the lead. Another cross into England's penalty area again, and Hart catches. Hart was beaten for De Rossi's shot from fully 30 yards out.
Well, this was the fear before the game. England do let people shoot. This is a terrific effort though. Got him credit. Fantastic outside the foot. Beat Joe Hart inside the post. Luckily for England, it comes out the right way. Outside the foot. I don't think he hit as well as he wanted to. Inside the post. Very lucky. Good start by Italy.
This is going to be nervy. Here's Terry. Mind you, it's going to be nervous anyway. England in the last stage of a major championship. That doesn't help matters. John Terry hitting a wasteful ball upfield. Hardly a white shirt in close contact. And it's back with Buffon. Buffon out to the left side and Balzaretti. So Italy a fraction away from taking the lead in the opening 3 minutes of the game. Here's a critical player for them. Andrea Pirlo to the left side, and Bonucci chips it forward. It deflects off Gerrard, and here's Parker to Ashley Cole, winning his 98th cap for England tonight. Cole over the halfway line. Cole into Welbeck, tap back to Parker and into Gerrard, and this is the first opportunity of the game that England have managed to string a few passes together. Gerrard, excellent crossfield ball from left to right to his club colleague Johnson with Welbeck in field. Milner's wide down the right touchline. It's played to Milner, on to Johnson now moves inside, approaching the penalty area, into the penalty area, tap back by here's the shot for Janšić, saved by Buffon.
Wow, what a chance. Good play by England, I've got to say. Good build-up play, very patient, good delivery across the 6-yard box. Panic stations by Italy, and Young just couldn't get it out of his feet, and it's a great reflex save by Buffon, and they clear it.
That's not a bad start to the game, is it? We could have had 2 goals quite easily. Cole on to Ashley Young on the far side, and back now to John Terry. Balotelli comes close. Terry hits it upfield towards Wayne Rooney, but it's headed away by Bonucci, and immediately hammered upfield in the direction of Cassano, but ahead of Cassano, one bounce and it's through to Joe Hart. I thought we were expecting this to be very tight and very cagey.
I think if you've watched it in the tournament so far, they've been quite open, haven't they? They've gone for goals, they've played a good tempo, played some attractive football, but they are suspect from crosses when you've noticed the games when they've played.
Here's Scott Parker. Oh, well done, Parker. Moving away from Marchisio. Parker approaching the penalty, into the penalty. Ball almost broke to Danny Welbeck. It didn't though, and it's cleared by Italy. And they run to the halfway line. Montalivo plays it to the right side to Cassano. Back to Pirlo. Pirlo looking for the left back, Balzaretti again, and the pass was accurate, but Balzaretti's control let him down, and it's out for an England throw-in.
When I get a replay of that save by Buffon as he crosses it, it just falls to him, and it's Glenn Johnson actually, isn't it, who misses the chance, who's drifted into the box. He just can't get out his feet, and it's a great reflex save by Buffon, who picks the rebound up as well.
Throw in to Italy on the halfway line. Balzaretti to take it. Back now to Bonucci. Pirlo takes it up. Pirlo to Barzagli. No Chiellini tonight, pulled a hamstring in the last game. They will miss him, and they miss Motta as well. Motta at least is on the bench. Pirlo running into trouble there, ran into Scott Parker, but Italy win the ball back, and then I think Parker's adjudged to have fouled an Italian player. It's going to be a free kick to Italy.
I think it's Danny Welbeck who's tracking back on Pirlo, wasn't he? Pirlo wanted that extra touch. Welbeck gets among him, falls over, free kick.
7 minutes gone, it's 0-0, but it could easily be 1-1. Now, De Rossi, who had that fantastic shot that flew past Hart. He lost the ball there initially, but he's winning it back in the left back position, and he plays it very carefully to Balzaretti, Bonucci, De Rossi once more. De Rossi's much deeper than we were anticipating.
They're playing a diamond, really, aren't they? Montalivo was at the head of it. They play very narrow to get the full-backs to push in.
Cassano's running through the middle. Cassano he did foul Lescott. I thought he managed to just shrug him off very diplomatically and get away with it, but he didn't. Well done the referee for Portugal, who spots the infringement and awards England a free kick. Graham Taylor is a couple of yards away. Graham, this was not the start we anticipated, was it?
Good opening. It's a good opening to the game. It's following the trend of the tournament, where we've seen very good and open football, and both sides here have looked to get forward when in possession. And as you quite rightly say, Alan, this could be 1-1 at the moment.
Here's Barzagli, and Barzagli looking for Balotelli. Just got the pass a fraction wrong to the right of the Manchester City striker, and it's through to the Manchester City goalkeeper Joe Hart. Hart throws it out to Cole. Cole plays it across the back line, finds Glenn Johnson, on to Gerrard. Gerrard's got room, moving down the right side. Ashley Young's virtually unmarked on the far side, but Gerrard tried to play it in towards Welbeck, half cleared by Italy, picked up now by Parker. Cole comes forward. Young with a little bit of room just to the left of the penalty area, turns onto his right foot, back onto his left, crosses high, looking for Milner, headed away well by the fullback Balzaretti, and that should be cleared by De Rossi, who plays it back to Balzaretti. Almost getting himself in trouble, but helped out by Bonucci, but his clearance wasn't good. Gerrard, forward to Rooney, allowed to run to Milner. Milner to the right of the Italian penalty area. Milner tried to take on the fullback, who's being helped out by Pirlo, and I think Italy have done enough to clear the ball, and they do clear the ball. And here's Cassano over the halfway line. Balotelli running through the middle. Oh, it's a poor pass from Cassano. That's like a pass back to Joe Hart.
Well, Italy had a brave start, didn't they? But they've got very wasteful the last 3 or 4 minutes, giving the ball away too cheaply.
That's a good ball down the England left. Ashley Young won't give up on that, though Barzagli got across and just shepherded it behind for a goal kick. It's far more open than I thought it would be.
Well, as I say, they're playing a diamond tape now. Rossi's come slightly more left, and I think they're worried about the two fullbacks. Johnson and Ashley Cole's breaking out very, very easily when England get the ball. I think they're trying to get them play a little bit more wider.
Barzagli just outside his own penalty area. De Rossi comes towards him, gets the pass, knocked back to Barzagli, and Barzagli then chips it poorly straight to Glenn Johnson. Glenn Johnson tried to collect and run forward into the half in the same movement and got it wrong, but he's helped out by Scott Parker. Gerrard onto Ashley Young. Ashley Cole on the overlap down the England left. Rooney and Welbeck wait for a cross to come in. It's with Ashley Young again. Ashley Young checks, helped out now by Steven Gerrard. Onto the skipper, and Gerrard wins the corner. Quite deliberately played off Abate.
It's a throw in, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
There is a running track here, and it is the only ground where you feel a little bit distant from the pitch. It's still a magnificent stadium. All the grounds have been great here. I was in Gdansk the other night, Chris, and it's a fabulous stadium in a fabulous city. Of course, we've spent most of our time in Ukraine. Rooney down the left for England, cutting in now toward the penalty area. Rooney strikes it in low towards Welbeck. Welbeck's touch was there, so too was the defenders, and this time it is a corner.
Well, if you look at the Italian midfield at the minute, they've just disappeared. The forward, Damon, whatever they're playing at the minute, they're just not touching. England's really got a head of steam up. Great ball by Rooney, spotted the gap through the legs deliberately. Welbeck just couldn't get there, good defending.
And here's a sort of opportunity that we've learned to crave under Roy Hodgson. A delivery, a set-piece delivery in this case, by Steven Gerrard. Lescott and Terry up inside the penalty area. There it goes, deep. Oh, it's well defended, headed clear. It's collected by Ashley Young, who's then tackled by Abate. The ball breaks out of play, and it's a throw-in to England, about 4 or 5 yards from the corner flag. Glenn Johnson to take it. Both Terry and Lescott have retreated to the halfway line, so that leaves Rooney, the sole England player, inside Italy's penalty area at the moment. Welbeck and Young close to the right touchline to meet Johnson's throw. Johnson did really well, getting past the fullback, and another defender chips it in towards Rooney. Fraction too high from Johnson. Still in play on the far side of the field. Milner back to Gerrard. Good spell is for England. 12 minutes played here on 5 Live. Still 0-0. Gerrard leaves it now for Ashley Cole. On to James Milner down the left, curling the cross in, right-footed. Beyond Rooney. Poor punt by Pickford. Shot driven in by Parker off target.
Well, they've got Italy rattled, there's no doubt about that, and they're getting the joy down the flanks. Ben Johnson suits his game attacking. I mean, he's not the best defender, but he's very good going forward. He's causing problems. Ashley Cole's getting forward very well, and that's helping England because it's pushing Ashley Young further up the field in James Milner, which we haven't really saw a lot of in this tournament.
Why did Buffon punch the ball? I mean, it was a straightforward catch if he wanted to make it.
It's an Italian thing.
He got it horribly wrong, nearly to England's great benefit. But as it is, after 12 and a half minutes here in Kiev, it's still England 0, Italy 0 here on 5 Live. De Rossi hooking it towards Balotelli, but Balotelli in meantime hooked a leg from under John Terry and concedes a free kick. Balotelli at the moment is furthest forward of the two out-and-out Italian strikers. Pisano's dropped a little bit deeper.
The movement's here, but the midfield's just not getting on the ball. Well, Pirlo started the game on the ball. Rossi, none of them had a kick for 5 minutes.
Apart from the De Rossi shot that hit the post, it's been a decent opening for England.
Very good.
0-0. 13 minutes played. England throwing on the far side of the field, almost midway inside the Italian half. Milner stayed down the left side for the moment. Ashley Young down the right. It's more of the fluidity that we all wanted to see. A change of position for some of these England players. Throw goes to Milner. Milner, a couple of yards outside the penalty area. Into Rooney. Rooney then plays it behind Ashley Young. Finds Glenn Johnson. Johnson chips it in. Rooney's there! Heads it over the crossbar.
Well, Italy just can't get... The problem Italy's got is the two fullbacks are coming out. It's alright playing two strikers, but they're not helping the fullbacks. They're letting them come out. The diamond's too narrow. And Rooney, what an opportunity. Johnson again, who's had an excellent start of the game. Great delivery, and you'd fancy Wayne Rooney from there.
It's a miss. It is a miss from Rooney. Anyway, goal kick to Italy. 14 minutes played. 0-0 in Kiev in the last of the quarter-finals. Already through. Germany will play the winners of this game, and Spain will meet Portugal. Throw into England on the halfway line. Johnson launches it towards Milner. Milner and Young have switched flanks again. Not objecting to that. Just help confuse the Italian defenders. Pirlo, who's been relatively quiet so far, finds De Rossi. De Rossi onto Cassano. Balotelli lurks on the edge of the England penalty. That's a good ball in field to Montalivo. And then the cross in low towards the near post and cleared by Steven Gerrard on the volley out of play for a throw-in.
That was good play by Italy. Listen, you can't switch off. They're a dangerous side, we know that, but so far England by far the better side.
Balzaretti with the throw-in and takes it back from Montalivo. I thought it was a good ball initially by De Rossi, but the fullback had actually slowed up and didn't get to it, and England cleared very well. Parker to Gerrard, worth the movement down the left side. Welbeck's running through the middle. Young and Cole are on the far side, but not really motoring. Now Wayne Rooney motors. Rooney takes up from Gerrard's pass, but that's wildly overhit. Crossed by Rooney behind for a goal kick.
Well, again, England take the ball up really easy. Down the flanks again. Gerrard this time pulled right on the right. That's where they're getting their joy. And the good thing about England is, I'm always critical of saying we bring the wingers back too deep. We haven't today.
No, despite the way England started, 4-4-1-1 with the two banks of four deep, that hasn't been the case over the last 10 minutes when England have been the better team. Still 0-0 though in Kiev here on 5 Live. Bonucci to Barzagli, his fellow central defender. Barzagli taps it to Abate. There was talk that Maggio would come in for Abate at right back, but he didn't. Now it's chipped in the direction of Balotelli. Balotelli with his club colleague Lescott in close attendance. Lescott fouls him, and it's a free kick.
And Lescott's not too happy with the decision from the linesman over there. He was very close to it, wasn't he? Balotelli just holds it up, moves him down the lane. Oh, he goes down very easy and gets.
And not only that, he was pulling on Lescott's shirt. Nevertheless, the decision is that it's a free kick to Italy. Both central defenders for the Italians have moved up inside England's penalty area. Bonucci and Barzagli. And Pirlo will hit the free kick. A couple of feet in from the right touchline. 10 yards from the corner flag. Dangerous this for England. Here comes Pirlo. Pirlo overhits it. Unusually for him. Kept in play though by the left back, who dinks it towards the far post, and it goes behind for a goal kick.
Not like Pirlo. Bad delivery, overhits it. Crossword comes back in. Not much better. But I think, we talked before the game about players getting yellow cards and missing the next guy. I think Italy, there's a lot of Italian players fighting to make a challenge.
Good. That's great news. 17 minutes gone. England 0, Italy 0 in Kiev, in the Olympic Stadium. Of course, they've never got anywhere near the Olympics, Ukraine. Ball is back inside the Italian half. Chip forward now to De Rossi. De Rossi managed to squeeze a pass between Milner and Welbeck. Finds Pirlo. Pirlo onto Abate on the far side of the field. Inside the England half. Infield now to Marchisio. And taken up by Cassano. Cassano, this is a good move for Italy. Played back. Cassano's inside the penalty. Out comes Hart. Hart made the run quickly enough and got to the ball first.
That was a good move again, Italy. They've just shown they are capable as England are. It's a very good game.
Good ball by Parker to the left side, and Ashley Young. Can't believe how fluid the game is, how open the game is. Ashley Young takes on the defender. Edge of the Italian penalty area. Back to Ashley Cole. Cole swings it from left to right. Onto the chest of Milner. Brought under control. Back to Gerrard. Gerrard swings the cross in, but it's overhit this time from the skipper beyond Rooney, and it's gone behind for a goal kick.
As you say, end-to-end stuff. Italy have an attack, England have an attack. Just no goals. Could have been a couple.
Absolutely. And it's a really good spectacle. There hasn't been a dull game in the tournament. I mean, I know last night I didn't see it because I was travelling, but I gather Spain just had the game by the throat, Chris.
Well, they do what they do best, dominate the ball.
Did you see the game? You were
I was at the game.
You were awake. Good, because I know you weren't awake all night. Great travel arrangements. What time did you get in? 9:30? Oh, wow. What's the red-eye flight to someone about to do an England game? No problem at all. What a trooper. On the far side of the field, Balotelli. Back to Montolivo. Into Cassano. Balotelli again, and England don't clear that ball properly. Lescott finally heads it away, and Milner takes it up. Milner, midway inside his own half, trying to find Welbeck, but that's easily cut out by Bonucci. And now De Rossi, who made the early impact with a shot that hit the post of Joe Hart. And now Cassano runs forward. Cassano still running forward, but he can't squeeze the pass through to a colleague, and it should be Ashley Young declared on the far side of the field. 20 minutes gone. Young hits it up towards Rooney, but it's a poor ball. Rooney can't do anything with a pass like that. Now Pirlo. The Italians have refound their momentum. Pirlo to the left side, and Balzaretti got past Johnson but didn't get past Milner. The referee's decision knows that it's a corner to Italy.
No, it's a good spell for Italy. Italy started break, came off the pacing, and have a good spell for 10 minutes. Now it's Italy's turn, and they've got a corner,
which Pirlo will take. And you're just harping back to the free kick a couple of minutes ago. Normally you expect Andrea Pirlo to deliver magnificent set pieces. The free kick wasn't any good. Will this corner be better? From the left side, hit in right footed into the danger area. Welbeck heads it away. Won again by Italy, but a player's gone down, and anyway it's gone behind for a goal kick.
That was a better delivery, more threat on it, wasn't it? But England deal with it well. They clear it. Welbeck it is. Good header away.
I think Barzagli was too close to getting his head on the ball for my liking, but nevertheless it's a goal kick to England. 21 minutes played in Kiev. It's quite a mild evening actually, none of the heat that we normally get in Ukraine. Welbeck heads the goal kick on towards Rooney, but it's intercepted. Rooney had that heading opportunity, but other than that can't get into the game. Balotelli back to the halfway line. Abate into Pirlo. Good ball by Pirlo to the left side, and Balzaretti. Instant control by the left back. In it goes to De Rossi. Don't give him room to shoot. Well, he shoots, but this time wastefully. High and wide, goal kick England.
That's Cassano drops off as he's always looking to have a pot shot, but this time high, wide. But again, Italy dominating possession the last 5 minutes. And they've got the same problem. Can't get Rooney in the game, but they can't get Montolivo in the game, who's playing up in the top of the diamond. Never had a kick.
Long may that continue. Joe Hart waits to take this goal kick, and then he drives it towards Danny Welbeck. Welbeck jumps, but headed away by De Rossi instead. But England collect possession again. Ashley Young Had Ashley Cole available, found Rooney instead. On now to Ashley Cole. Back to Wayne Rooney. Don't know why he's getting abuse. Or maybe it's the abuse from fellow fans towards the Mexican wave that's burst out around the arena. The game is surely far more interesting than one that provokes a Mexican wave this early. 22 minutes gone. England 0, Italy 0. England have given as good as they've taken. We're at the midway point, and here's Mike Ingham.
Well, we've got a Manchester City battle at the moment between Balotelli and Lescott, and this time the decision goes Lescott's way. The reason for the noise from the crowd was, I think, some of the England fans who were actually watching the game, not interested in doing the Mexican wave, didn't join in with the Ukraine fans over on the far side. And now they do take part. But there's better movement tonight from England, Chris, isn't there, than we've seen?
Well, I think they're allowed, Mike. I think the diamond suits them. We've got two fullbacks who like to join in and get forward, and Johnson and Cole, which then pushes Milner and Ashley Young further up the field, and that's what we've been asking for, or trying to get, and it suits England.
And unlike the other three quarter-finals so far, this one is a much closer affair as we anticipated, I think. England 0, Italy 0 in Kiev. The Italian side very much a rhythm team. They're playing in spells here. They started really well. England were slow to start. Then England had a really good period of 10 minutes or so, particularly in the wide positions. Italy are now just keeping the ball inside their own half, playing from right to left. You're listening to Five Live's coverage of Euro 2012. It's an intriguing game, and now Balzaretti, the fullback, down the left-hand side for Italy. On to De Rossi, who hit the post early on, but I'm not sure if we get the best out of De Rossi in this position on the left-hand side. He's not influencing the game as much as he would like. Now it's Marchisio, one of the 5 Juventus players in the team, turns away and finds Perla. Lovely change of pace here as Italy go forward. Balotelli's waiting. It was Montalivo who drove forward from midfield, and England now tidy up, and Young hits it and doesn't really look, and it's cut out easily by Bonucci. A better spell now from Italy. Good ball in field. Italy now right across the field. They find Cassano. Johnson's waiting. Balzaretti makes a move on the outside just to try and distract the defenders, and Cassano plays it lamely into the near post, really. And out comes the man in red, Joe Hart.
Well, he's been in good positions, Cassano. He's just dropping off that back four, getting in the little pockets, which is hard to pick up, but he's wasted the ball too many times.
Rooney, who for me just still seems a little short of total match fitness here. Rooney's going inside the Italian half and lays the ball off to Johnson. Johnson back again to Rooney. Rooney now for Milner. Milner, can he get a good cross in here from the England right? Ball in, headed away at the near post by Bonucci. Milner couldn't clear Bonucci. Rooney was waiting, and Pirlo now brings the ball out. Italian champion with Juventus. Ball down the centre, and Balotelli's not offside. Here goes Balotelli against Joe Hart, and England managed to get a block in. John Terry, I think it was, who threw himself in, and the England defence were caught square. Balotelli couldn't take advantage. Desperate defending from England.
What a chance. And that's that guy Pirlo. Comes out of the ball from the back. Nobody presses him. The back four hold. You can't stand high when you've got a Pirlo on the ball. He spots a pass. He spots the run of Balotelli. And for me, Balotelli should have done a lot better.
Welbeck's lost the ball cheaply in the meantime over on the far side, and the Italians are having a much better spell now, with once more Pirlo influencing the game. Knocks it across to this near side to Balzaretti. The Italians much happier now going forward with De Rossi again. All the England players inside their own half. It's 0-0 here in Kiev. It's Balzaretti now cutting in from this near side. Little reverse ball to Cassano. Cassano from the angle. Still Cassano. Can't get it past Milner. England looking to clear. And Young has to be careful here. Finds Rooney. Rooney's inside the centre circle. He's held up by Montalivo. And then there's a fine ball from Parker to find Cole. Doesn't control it first time down the England left. Now England can move forward. Parker back again to Ashley Cole. A little bit slow though, the build up from England. Parker again into Rooney. Good first touch from Rooney. Oh, Rooney should have slipped it wide to Milner. Johnson slips again down there. Sure about his footwear this evening. And that's out of play for an England throw.
Well, I thought Rooney should have shot. What is he, 25 yards? If that, middle of the goal.
26 minutes gone. England 0, Italy 0. And Johnson with an England throw-in front of the Italian coach. Johnson's throw off the chest from Welbeck to Rooney. Rooney and Gerrard doesn't control it first time, but manages to find Terry on the halfway line. That will go back a long way to Joe Hart. I'll bring in Graham Taylor again in a moment as Hart scoops the ball into the Italian half. Bonucci to take responsibility and knocks it out for a throw-in. They've lost Chiellini of Juventus, but they brought in Bonucci of Juventus to partner Barzagli of Juventus. It's very much a Juventus Italian squad. There's not a single Inter Milan player in the 23. Johnson taking his time over the throw. 0-0. Parker now for England. Near side the England right. Too many Italian players there. And they immediately dispossess Parker. And Pirlo now, never in any hurry, plays the ball back to Buffon. Graham Taylor.
Yeah, a very interesting game as well, very enjoyable, may I say. Each team sort of taking it in turns to be on top. From England's point of view, when forward, I think the use of Johnson and Cole, the fullbacks, I think is very important for them. I think there's a great opportunities for them to release either of them.
Well, we always, thank you Graham, suspected that the midfield could get quite congested, and the wide areas, and Italy are now looking to use their wide position, left-hand side with Balzaretti, who's a sort of Robbie Savage look-alike. And Italy lose their way. He's got a pony to Rooney now, surrounded by Italian players, and now Gerrard. That was the tension was right to knock it left-hand side to Ashley Young, but Young had drifted in from the far touchline. It's going to be an Italian throw-in to be taken by Abate.
I just think what's helping England as well as Cassano, who's having one of them games. He just can't do anything right, which is good news for England because he's a clever footballer.
They do have the dangerous Di Natale on the bench if it doesn't work with Cassano, and now Balzaretti again, back to De Rossi on the halfway line. De Rossi, look, a good ball in the air, nice touch from Cassano. Pirlo, back again to Cassano, referee does well, gets out of the way as Montalivo in the end drags it well wide. If you haven't heard the news, by the way, tonight, Thiago Motta unfit. Montalivo of Fiorentina, though I understand he's going to AC Milan, is playing behind the front two. And of course Pirlo is anchoring the midfield in front of the back four. England unchanged. Joe Hart to take this kick. 29 minutes gone in the first half. Hart's flatter clearance this time. Welbeck heads it on, but got too much on it, and it goes through to Buffon again in the goal away to our right. 118 caps now, Gigi Buffon, who only played for 45 minutes in the last World Cup, and he got an injury, and Italy suffered. Pirlo now, lovely ball to this near side for Balzaretti. Just checks inside the England half, and now De Rossi. De Rossi left-hand side, back again to Balzaretti. 0-0 here in Kiev. Balzaretti gives the ball away. England looking to try and get out of defence with Johnson. He's running into trouble here, Johnson. The Italians are pressing well, and it's this time Marchisio. England are backing off. Someone needs to get a tackle here. In the end, it's Gerrard with the ball out to Welbeck, who was a bit slow to react to that. Don't get that much time at this level, and Welbeck needs to be quicker. Marchisio again, and now Cassano turning away from England players. Lescott's there. England will look to clear, and it's Gerrard turning back into his own penalty area, and then accelerating and clearing. Did well there, the England captain. Hangs one towards Welbeck. Welbeck reaches for it, and then in the end, Italy immediately outnumber him. Italy are working hard at the moment, closing England down, and they're going forward again through Pirlo. The main man really in the Italian ideas department. Finds Montalivo. Montalivo now for Balzaretti. Again, it's a good spell from Italy. Balotelli now takes up a position near side the left. 0-0 in Kiev on 5 Live. Balzaretti again. Back again to Pirlo. And now into midfield. De Rossi's now more central. De Rossi lets the ball run on, and Cassano now comes deep. Chips the ball in towards Balzaretti. Balzaretti hit it straight at Johnson, and that's going to be an Italian throw-in.
I've got to say, probably last 10 minutes, it's been more Italy than England. England got deep again, and they're giving the ball away again cheaply. But Italy, when they're getting around the box, they're just lacking ideas.
England fans probably outnumbering the Italians in the stadium, but at the moment Italy getting much more of the ball. England having a really bright period for about 10 minutes or so, using the wide position as well. Milner and Young interchanging. Rooney could have done better with a header. Johnson almost scored. Buffon saved point blank, but at the other end De Rossi struck the post for Italy. It's Bonucci again now. On to De Rossi. Now Barzagli, who was doubtful for this tournament, missed the first 2 games. Pirlo's ball down the centre for Balotelli. Balotelli's there, hits it straight at hard. He just couldn't wrap his right leg round it and get any power in the shot. But that's the second time the Italians have opened England up.
Well, he's playing on the shoulder. Montalivo just flicks one over the back 4. John Terry gambles for me, coming anticipating the ball to feet.
Oh, and now Johnson's lost the ball very cheaply, and England on the defensive. Parker now to the left-hand side. Young's out of position. It's Ashley Cole, and the Italians are working really hard all the time here, closing England down. Parker trying to get the better of Pirlo. There are always 2 or 3 Italian players around the England players, but now Welbeck steps forward, having been fed by Young. Rooney's trying to stay on side. The ball is into Rooney. Back to Welbeck. Oh, he's hit it wide. Great move from England. Pity about the finish.
Well, it started with Scott Parker on halfway lane, thought he was running out of ideas, found a bit of space, got it through, quick build up. Welbeck plays a nice 1-2, and you've just got a side foot out, which he does everything right, just doesn't hit the target. He does the right thing, side foots it.
Well, that was a good bit of creativity from England on the counter-attack after Italy had been dominating. 32 minutes gone. England 0, Italy 0 in Kiev, and Pirlo again, always available. Finds De Rossi, just short of the halfway line. Italy playing from right to left here in the first half. Barzagli now, going into the England half. England not making a challenge. It's Abate on the right-hand side. Preferred to Maggio, the Napoli man. Italy still moving it around slowly. All of the England players back inside their own half. We can hear the England fans away to our left predominantly. And now it's De Rossi. De Rossi's 30 yards away from Joe Hart's goal, and he finds Cassano, who's coming quite deep at the moment. Balotelli's in the penalty area. Cassano shoots wide. Poor effort really there from Cassano. No trouble there for Joe Hart. Goal kick for England.
Well, again, steady build up. Italy dominating the ball. England look dangerous on the counter attack, and Cassano's getting in great areas, getting a lot of space, but he's not using it well enough.
Overall, England are playing much better than they did in the first half against Ukraine. Mind you, that's not really difficult. But it is 0-0 here as Hart clears. In towards Welbeck, doesn't reach him. Pirlo heads it back. Ashley Cole steps in for England and heads the ball on. And then there's a misunderstanding with Young. Balotelli's, though, giving it away to Young. And Ashley Cole has another chance for England. Finds Gerrard in midfield. Gerrard now down the right-hand side for Johnson. Again, promise from England. Rooney back again to Johnson. So many blue shirts, though, there for Italy. And then Rooney, a little clumsily, almost fouled De Rossi. De Rossi holds the ball, though. Strong player. And Italy have the possession once more at the back. They really are taking a leaf out of the Spanish book here, the Italians. As soon as they lose the ball, they're immediately hunting to get it back. They have 60% of the possession in this game so far. And now Montolivo back again to Bonucci. But England have actually created probably the better opportunities here. We've had the effort from De Rossi. Balotelli's got clear a couple of times. Now it's Milner, and that's a good challenge from Montolivo, sliding the ball out of play. As out comes Gary Neville. By the way, the last time England played Italy was 10 years ago, a friendly match in Leeds, when England used 22 players. It was a farce at Leeds. 9 changes at half-time, and they lost the game, the friendly 2-1. But this is a much bigger occasion. It's Pirlo now for Italy, the danger man. Balotelli back again to Pirlo. A little bit loose that from Pirlo, who was challenged by Rooney. But it doesn't matter from his point of view because his team have the ball. Pirlo for De Rossi. Good first touch from the Roma man. Now Balzaretti again, left-hand side. Back again to De Rossi. 0-0 here in Kiev. 34 minutes gone in the first half. England trying to get the ball off the Italians, but it's difficult. It's Montolivo chasing to this near side. England are making it difficult for Italy here. They're filling most of the spaces. And in the end, De Rossi swishes it back with an air of frustration, really, back into the Italian half. So England at the moment are closing down quite well. It's walking pace at the moment, the game, as Pirlo got the ball forward and it clipped off Welbeck. And the Italians, Welbeck's limping. And we'll watch that as, just watching, I thought he had a bit of a limp there, Welbeck, as England clear. Rooney's a bit isolated here. Rooney tried to head the ball onto Welbeck. It was a good stretch from Barzagli. Well, what do you think? I'm not sure. We'll wait and see as that develops with Welbeck. We just seem to have a little bit of a problem there. And now it's Italy again on the halfway line with the powerful figure of De Rossi. Great warrior on the Italian side. Finds Balzaretti, who's getting forward a lot down this left-hand side. Cassano takes over. Still Cassano. Balotelli waiting on the edge of the area, marked by Lescott. Goes to Marchisio. England trying to make it tight on the edge of the penalty area. They have to go wide once more to Balzaretti. Balzaretti square to De Rossi. De Rossi now down the centre. Johnson away for England. Parker now should complete the clearance. Huge gap though between the England midfield and the forwards. It's a long one towards Ashley Young, but it's cut out well by Barzagli. They don't miss too much, those two. Barzagli and Bonucci in the air. And the Italians are back in business once more. Pirlo to Balzaretti, who's playing really as a wing-back at times here on the left-hand side. Getting forward much more than Abate is over on the right. Italy building gently from the back. Pirlo 10 yards inside the England half, playing from right to left. Balotelli, not a good first touch from Balotelli, ran loose away from him, and Johnson will feed it back to Joe Hart. And You know, Balotelli hasn't had a particularly distinguished game so
I've got to say, the good news for England is the front two are not firing either. Balotelli's not done anything, and Cassano gives the ball away all the time. There's Rooney on the break.
I got away from Marchisio, and then he's fouled from behind out by No, he's not, says the referee. Well, De Rossi reached for the ball, seemed to bring Rooney down from behind, but the referee from Portugal, the Champions League final referee, waves play on, asked Rooney to get back on his feet again. And De Rossi, who's one of those yellow card players, of course, threatened with suspension. John Terry's had a little word there, I think, with the referee. Italy now have a free kick just inside the England half. I'm not sure if you've seen that one back, have you? Was it?
No, it's not been.
Free kick to Italy. This time Pirlo doesn't take it. De Rossi knocks it off, and it's Balotelli now wide on the left. Montalivo's made a run forward. Cassano turning and shooting well, and Hart palms it away. Good job there was no Italian player rushing in there. That was a deceptively good effort from Cassano. Minimum backlift, and Hart in the end punches it away and to safety, and England now move towards the halfway line.
Well, you can't let them shoot. We talked about the game. England do back off and let teams have a shot at them. Joe Hart, yes, deals with them most times, but you cannot let these players keep shooting.
England still conceding the middle ground at the moment, just a little bit too easily. That's why the wide areas are going to be so important to them this evening. 38 minutes gone, 0-0 here in Kiev. On 5 Live, it's Cassano, who is coming very deep at times and lifts the ball forward towards Balotelli. Lescott just doing enough there, I think, against Balotelli. Balotelli's appealing for a penalty. England now bringing the ball out. Out comes Ray Lewington, Roy Hodgson's right-hand man. Roy Hodgson's already out there in the technical area. Just a few worrying moments coming towards the end of this first half. And it's Cole now with a good ball into Welbeck's feet. Gerrard pops up over on the left-hand side. England now again with Ashley Cole. Cole's ball into Young. Young trying to turn and then got it forward, but only to an Italian defender. Parker now in midfield against De Rossi, and the referee's penalised Parker. Takes something to get De Rossi over inside the centre circle, but he did. He tumbles over, and Italy have a free kick.
Well, I think England, you can say, had a good 15-minute spell if that, but most of the game's been dominated by Italy, and as I said, England's been very fortunate that the front two have not turned up for Italy so far.
Balzaretti to Montalivo. Montalivo hit the back of Rossi's heel there. England are trapped here. Rooney's gone down. Rooney's still down. England looking to Gerrard. Rooney back on his feet again is okay. And the ball goes down the England left, and they need Rooney now to get forward quickly, because it's Ashley Young down the left-hand side, with Ashley Cole on the left-hand side of him. Rooney's still deep. Maybe sensing he might get this in midfield from Gerrard, and he does. Rooney's first touch. Turns it to the right to Parker. Parker now for Johnson. Bit slow and predictable this from England, but now it's Milner. Milner boxed in between Italian defenders, and they're winning the ball back easily, the Italians. Out-muscling England really at times. Fair and square, by the way. And now De Rossi bringing the ball out, and again Gary Neville comes into the technical area as we approach the last 5 minutes of the first half. It's a rare moment for Abate now, down the right. Infield to Marchisio. Marchisio as Terry and Lescott wait. Montalivo trying to get the ball. England haven't managed to get it off the Italians. Montalivo once more. Montalivo, chance to play the ball into the England penalty area. Cassano was looking dangerous, and now nobody's picked up Pirlo, 25 yards away from Hart's goal. His shot is off Steven Gerrard. Lescott heads it out of the penalty area as the Italians come diving in from the back with a great challenge from Bonucci, and it's Balzaretti onto the runner, who is Montalivo. Little back heel from him, and England doing well there through Danny Welbeck to avoid the corner kick. The Italians having a throw and still looking the likelier team here at the end of the first half. Balzaretti for Italy. Onto the unmarked Pirlo. Pirlo looking at the far post for Cassano. Header down, and Balotelli was there, and the England defenders just put him off, and it's going to be a corner.
What a ball by Pirlo. Fantastic footballer, we keep talking about him. That is a wonderful ball. Sees the run early. Great header back down. Oh, Balotelli's got to be there first. It's a great header back across the goal.
But England are living dangerously at times here. How much longer can they keep the Italian strikers out here? They've got a corner, Italy, over on the right-hand side, which is taken deep by Pirlo. England now looking to Johnson to clear, as De Rossi couldn't get hold of it, and Johnson can only hit it as far as he possibly can into the Italian half. 41 minutes gone in the first half. England have had one good sustained period, but it has been mainly Italy here, and the Italians now take possession once more. They're just working a bit harder as well, Italy, closing England down and spraying the ball around whenever Pirlo has it. And Balzaretti really has hardly spent any time inside his own half. Rooney's been penalised by the referee for a foul from behind on De Rossi. There's an irony, because a few moments ago Rooney thought he was fouled from behind. And this is a long way out, but Pirlo will want the ball.
Balotelli does, but took a quick one.
It's taken quickly and it's given straight back to England. But Ashley Young now crosses the halfway line. Rooney down the left-hand side. Young to Rooney, just inside the penalty area. Rooney's disappointing ball in though. England needed more conviction than that. Hasn't been a great first half from Rooney. And as the Italians escape down the right-hand side now, it's Abate. Just when England needed Rooney to deliver there from the left-hand side, it was a disappointing finish. And now Balotelli has possession down the Italian left. Balotelli moving forward. And Balotelli tries a shot over the bar. Hart had it covered.
No, not a bad effort. Roberts obviously rising. Long way out, goes over the bar, never troubling Joe Hart. England really should have capitalised on that terrible free kick by Italy. We wasted the opportunity on that counter-attack. And that's basically what we've done. We've got behind the ball. And it's Italy who's, for me, the last half hour has dominated this game. We've got to try and use that ball better, but we talk about this all the time. We waste so many opportunities when we have good possession.
Milner now down the England right, but he's easily tackled by Balzaretti. A lot of people here tonight think that it'll be 0-0 and penalties. We've got an awful long way to go to that, but we are still on course for it. It's Johnson of England now to Welbeck. Last moments of the first half. Again a poor pass from England's Johnson. And the Italians with Balotelli turning away now from Terry. This time England surround Balotelli and they brought him down. Well, referee was ready to blow the whistle there, and Balotelli nudges the free kick off to the unmarked Cassano. England have to close down once more as Abate moves onto it down the right hand side. Infield to Marchisio, and now Montalivo with just about a minute and a half left in the first half. Balotelli strolling forward now. Cassano's made a run and Balotelli's poor ball in. Balotelli, like Rooney, we've got a bit of a Manchester derby going on here tonight, but neither of them are really on their game. Now it's Ashley Cole over on the left. Good little bit of pace from it. He's immediately held up by Marchisio, and England now look to Lescott, who feeds Parker. England need a bit more of the ball and they give it back to Joe Hart. Now Hart needs to be careful with his clearance, and he just scoops it down this near side, and that's not a good clearance because Johnson won't get that, and that gives the Italians a throw straight away with 45 seconds to go plus time to be added on. There shouldn't be a great deal of that as Italy now move it into the back four. And it's Bonucci and Barzagli who for the most part have looked quite comfortable, apart from a couple of moments when England have got crosses in, but there haven't been enough of them. And now it's Montalivo down that right hand side finding Abate, and it's out of play for an Italian throw-in.
Well, I think going in coaches wise, Italy will be quite happy the way they've played the last half hour. Dominated possession and took a couple of good chances for me, and they really could have took the advantage. England had a little spell of 15 minutes, but not enough. They've just come right off the pace, given the ball away cheaply, getting deeper and deeper.
Both the Italian goals against the Irish were from set pieces, by the way. And here's a man, of course, who scored the free kick against Croatia. The referee plays no added time at all. That was Pirlo, by the way, on the ball. As the referee from Portugal, it's been a very easy first half for him. Blows for half-time. England 0, Italy 0.
Well, I might still be on air at 2 a.m. local time the way things are going, but there is a pattern developing here. As in the group games, England have far less of the ball than the opposition. 39% to England, 61 to Italy. England just had that Johnson effort on goal. Italy 6 efforts on goal, and of course the best chance fell to Balotelli, who was denied only by John Terry. The second half is underway. There are no changes to either 11, so quickly running down the teams. England's goalkeeper Hart defends Johnson, Terry, Lescott and Cole. England on the attack at the moment now with Scott Parker. Parker drives the ball in. Rooney's first touch was poor, and he managed to bring it under control. He was in the penalty area with a great opportunity. So continuing with that England team in midfield, Milner, Gerrard, Parker, Young, then Rooney and Welbeck. Italy's goalkeeper is Buffon. England on the attack again. Ball played in behind Rooney by Milner. That wasn't a great cross, and Italy cleared. Their defenders, Abate, Barzagli, Bonucci and Balzaretti. Then in midfield, Pirlo, Marchisio, Montalivo and De Rossi. And their strikers, Balotelli and Cassano. England have started quite brightly, but then again, it's wasteful passing. Ashley Young gives the ball away. And it's run upfield by De Rossi into the centre circle, just crossing the halfway line now. Trying to tap it back to Pirlo. Pirlo has colleagues to his left and is played towards that left side and then swung in by Cassano. That's a wasteful pass from him, well ahead of Balotelli and through to Joe Hart.
A decent start by England. Milner getting down that right, as you say. Cross wasn't the best. Rooney nearly got a shot from Scott Parker coming to his path. He didn't react quick enough. But Italy, I'm sure, will start pressing again and then dominating possession.
The claimed attendance at half-time, by the way, was 64,340, and I give that as much serious thought as I give to the attendances when they're announced at the Emirates. Never as many, as they say. Cassano for Italy, who are all in blue. Back to De Rossi. Balotelli furthest forward. De Rossi moving in his direction, but plays the ball to the right side to the Milan right back. Abate faced by Ashley Young, takes him on the outside, beats him, crosses towards the far post, headed carefully away by Glenn Johnson. Travelled a long way, that ball. Now it's Cassano taking on Johnson into the penalty area, crosses low, it hits the England fullback's right foot and goes behind for a corner.
Abate done a brilliant pace down that right hand side, and he just moves it away from Young. Great delivery. Not enough Italians willing to gamble, attack the ball in the near post. That's where you get your goals.
Pirlo with a corner from the left, and he'll play it in right footed. There it goes. In deep, Joe Hart comes, punches with both fists, gets good clearance of the ball, headed back in there, chance! Hit wide! De Rossi should have scored, but he was offside.
Well, it's a good punch by Joe. A lot of hate on it. I don't think he's offside. The flag went up.
The flag went up, you know.
I don't think he was well up. He's well onside. He snatched at a chance. You just got to tip the target, side foot it. That's the opening goal. What a chance.
So England started the second half brightly, and then we're stung there, almost stung there. Oh, Gerrard's lost the ball, and then Gerrard, did he foul to win it back? No, he didn't. Well done. Captain, beating De Rossi. And now Johnson on the far side of the field. Milner's down the right, Ashley Young down the left. It goes forward to James Milner. Not a good ball in field. How many times have England players got themselves into good positions and then either been lazy or inaccurate with their passing? Pirlo faced by Rooney, just taps it back, and Bonucci takes it up, slides the pass to the right side to Abate. Abate curls it forward. Not a good ball in field by Italy though. Rooney takes it up. Rooney now, a couple of yards outside the penalty area. Ashley Young to his left. Rooney still going, but without the pace that you would normally expect from him. It's knocked away by a defender behind for a corner.
Well, started like the first half, this wasn't it? End-to-end stuff for the first 5-10 minutes. Corner to England.
Yeah, I agree with what's been said about Rooney. I think he does look off the pace. He's not match fit. Gerrard's corner. 4 minutes gone in the second half here in Kiev. Still 0-0. You're listening to 5 Live. Gerrard from the left, right footed, hooks it in, easily headed away by Bonucci. And here's Balotelli, controls the ball on his right thigh, and beats Milner, was pulled back by Milner, and rightfully the Portuguese referee awards a free kick to Italy.
Balotelli does well there. I don't think he's had a good game. I think he's wasted a lot of chances, wasted a lot of possession. But there he did very well. Good strength, good turn, definite foul.
I reckon he had 4 opportunities, Balotelli. 4. And didn't look like taking any of them. Long may that continue. De Rossi, whose shot struck the post in the opening minutes. Now it's with Barzagli. Barzagli over the halfway line, right in the centre circle. Abate is to his right. Barzagli then taps it in field, intercepted by Scott Parker. Parker with Welbeck ahead of him. Play to the Manchester United striker. Welbeck initially beat Pirlo, but then he ran into Barzagli, and it's up to the halfway line in Italy's possession. Montolivo to Pirlo. Pirlo holding off Scott Parker easily. Parker then fouls him. Free kick Italy.
I think he's getting a little bit sloppy as well, isn't it? A good half hour coming up to half time, and now they've just seemed to slow it up, and Italy out the best when they play at high tempo and press England, move the ball quickly.
Marchisio just allows Pirlo to tap the ball to him, then he gives it back to Pirlo. Pirlo to Bonucci in the centre circle. Pirlo again, pivotal figure in that midfield for the Italians. On now to Marchisio. Montolivo to the right side. Good ball into Cassano. Cassano inside right channel, running his side into trouble, but it's well won back by De Rossi. And on now to Montalivo, who was wasteful in his split forward, heading it straight to Ashley Cole, and Cole finds Scott Parker, and Parker caught in possession. Montalivo now, Balotelli to his left, Balotelli onto Cassano, taking on his chest, outside the penalty area, onto Abate, cross in, Balotelli turns to his Terry. That's the second time that John Terry has made a vital interception on England's behalf, and each time to deny Balotelli.
Well, Abate is getting a lot of joy down this right hand side, isn't he? Second half, it's early on with good delivery.
Here's De Rossi, shooting from one way, straight at Hart. Hart only fumbles out. Balotelli shoots, blocked by Hart. Oh, the shot over the head by Montalivo. Hart, unconvincing. And Italy had 3 opportunities to score.
Well, how many chances do they want, Italy? They had enough first half, and second half again. They're on top, good strike. Hart spills it. Balotelli does very well to hit the target off the rebound. It's a hard chance. Oh, here Montalivo, it's very difficult to get it down. It's high, it's bouncing. He just can't get it down. He's under pressure as well.
I reckon that was chance number 5 though for Balotelli. And he just does not look convincing tonight. Here's Pirlo. Pirlo chipping the ball towards Balotelli. He's onside. Out comes Hart. Edge of his penalty. Gets to the ball first. Well done, Joe Hart.
You see that happen first half, Alan. Very easy, isn't it? Nobody puts pressure on Pirlo. Balotelli just makes that run. He's quick. He's got the legs on the 2 centre halves. And I don't know why England just don't drop off a little bit when they see Pirlo go time on the ball, because he is capable of picking people out, as we saw.
The lines are open for 606 0500 909 693 as Milner shoots well wide of goal. Goal kick. I don't know what time 606 will start. It's entirely dependent on whether we have a normal time finish here, in which case it will be in about an hour's time. Otherwise, extra time penalties. It'll be another dawn finish for you, Chris.
I'm used
no
to
point going to bed.
Used to it
I
now.
just stay up, get the flight.
I do a night shift in it.
Montalivo's volley pass, not good, straight out of play. Thrown on the halfway line to England. Ashley Cole to take it. Cole with Parker available. So too is Rooney. Rooney's come close, but there's no great movement from the England players. Finally the throw goes to Parker. Back to Cole. Cole nudging his way down the touchline, loses the ball. Montalivo, and Montalivo's control was poor. It's out. Another England throw in as a result. Do you know, actually some of the play from both sides has been scrappy. Still think Italy looked far more threatening. Far more threatening. Nearly 9 minutes gone in the second half. You're listening to 5 Live in the BBC. England 0, Italy 0. We have not had a scoreless draw in the tournament so far. De Rossi to Cassano. Cassano squeezes the ball through to Balotelli, who slipped, which is as well for Lescott that he did. Lescott gets to the ball first, plays it clear to Ashley Young. Poor from Ashley Young. Given away to Montalivo. On to Balotelli. Cassano takes it up. Cassano edge of the penalty area, and then Marchisio slips, lost control, and is cleared by England. But England, having started the second half brightly, look on the back foot, or have looked on the back foot. Rooney to Gerrard. Gerrard running forward, slips, loses the ball, and it's cleared quite comfortably. And then De Rossi carelessly backheels it straight to Milner. Milner slips it to the right to Gerrard. Gerrard was always looking second best to get there, but it's given back to him by the fullback Balzaretti, and then it's given away by England. Goodness gracious, somebody's really scrappy. And now Pirlo is run out of possession. Johnson on the far side of the field. 10 minutes play, and the second half has been bright but not exactly beautiful. Welbeck lost the ball when he shouldn't have done, and Italy move it gradually toward the halfway line. De Rossi to Montalivo. Cassano shows about the penalty spot. Nobody tracked him, but the pass didn't come his way. Initially it's back to Barzagli, and now Pirlo again inside the centre circle to De Rossi. Balzaretti available on the far side. Lovely touch on by Montalivo to Balotelli. Balotelli claims that Montalivo was fouled. Referee was nearby, and he doesn't give it a free kick to Italy, but it is a throw-in.
Glenn Johnson runs out of play, as you say. It's a scrappy period of the game at the minute, but a lot of people are slipping. I know they put a lot of water on this pitch.
Throw-in taken. England again a bit sleep. Pirlo comes forward. 1-2. Slides it in towards Abate in the penalty area. Ashley Cole gets there first, concedes the corner.
Well, Pirlo again. Wonderful 1-2. Wonderful way to pass inside the full-back. Could easily play it away to Abate, plays it inside. Ashley Cole, reliable.
Pirlo's corner from the right in towards the near post, and well headed clear by Lescott. England got everybody back there, including Rooney and Welbeck. Now it's Abate chipping it to the right side, but oh god, that looked out of play when Pirlo controlled it. But the assistant was convinced of its legitimacy, and then Pirlo's cross intercepted by Johnson, who heads it out of play for a throw. But it's just pressure on England.
Well, Italy cannot complain. If they don't win this game, they've had the chances, Alan. I know England's had a couple of good ones, but Italy's had what, 5, 6?
Montalivo just chipping the ball to Abate. Abate now only 30 yards from England's goal, onto Cassano, whose movement troubles England. Abate once more, right of the penalty, back to Cassano. Cassano's first time cross was poorly hit, but it's won back. Italy gave that away. Ashley Cole was at fault. Cassano, edge of the penalty, chips it toward the far post. I think it's still going to be in play on the far side of the field. Balzaretti meets it, close to the corner flag, crosses deep towards Cassano. Gerrard jumps, heads it away. Ashley Young heads it on. There was a clash of heads there, accidental clash of heads. The ball is behind, I think, for a goal kick, and both players can receive attention. Ashley Young, certainly the England player. And we're going to have two changes. Theo Walcott and Andy Carroll.
Well, he's obviously worried, Roy Hodgson, isn't he? That we're giving the ball up very cheaply, and it's all Italy. I mean, just as well as Italy haven't got the shooting boots on, because the chances they've had, they could easily put this game to bed.
Can we possibly reach the semi-finals having been the inferior side in all three group games and in the quarter-final?
It does happen. Not very often, but it does happen.
So Andy Carroll will presumably replace Welbeck. Although I say that, I still think Rooney's so obviously out of condition. That is a possible alteration. And Walcott, I would bet, for Milner. Or Young. Which just says that actually some England players are not playing very well. Ashley Young's okay. He's coming off. So too is Abate, whose head he collided with. But they'll be okay. They'll be able to resume. Will England use this break to make the changes? No, not yet. Where's the fourth official? Andy Carroll and Theo Walcott now being waved forward by Gary Neville. 13 minutes gone in the second half, and they still haven't made the changes. What on earth is the thinking behind that? You have the two players ready to come on, and the goal kick is taken. Do you understand that, Chris?
Well, I'm just waiting to see probably how Ashley Young was reacting. That's all I can think of, because just give it a couple of minutes. Now he'll do it because he's all right, Ashley Young.
Well, if that's the case, then it looks like it's James Milner who'll come off. But here is Barzagli for Italy. After the first couple of minutes in the second half, wholly dominant. And we've played 59 minutes in the game now. You're seeing the 5 live in the BBC. Abate's playing like a right winger.
Well, it's pushing Ashley Young back again, and you've got to say the joy's coming down this right side. If you look at Milner, who's doing a good job on that right hand side defensively.
Oh, that's a lovely touch. Back to Montalivo, onto Abate, and Abate swings the cross into the England penalty. It comes off Ashley Cole's head. Balotelli checks it down, overhead kick, not on target, over the crossbar.
Well, that was a great bit of skill and strength, wasn't it, to bring the ball down against Lescott on his chest, and he tries a bicycle kick. Real good strength against John Terry, brings it down, flicks it up, a bicycle kick over the bar.
So it's Carroll for Welbeck. So Rooney stays on, and Walcott for Milner. I tell you what, let's hope Wayne Rooney smacks one into the back of the head, but at the moment I'm not convinced by Wayne Rooney's performance. So Milner's off, and now Walcott, who will certainly want to press the fullback, Balzaretti, back on the far side of the field.
Well, he's an out ball, but Glenn Johnson will be exposed, as we've saw in other games. But you look at the positive side, he came on against Sweden and turned the game.
An hour gone. It's still England 0, Italy 0. Carroll heads the ball on, doesn't find Rooney. It's chipped forward by Italy into the England half, and then it's driven, but straight to Ashley Cole. On to Carroll. Carroll tackled and beaten by Pirlo. That's a glorious pass by Pirlo down the right, but Cassano for some reason wasn't anticipating it.
I don't think he's the quickest Cassano, is he? He didn't, as you say, he didn't probably think he could get that ball through the gap, but he did.
England throw in.
Them substitutes are very early as well, aren't they? 60 minutes.
Yes, they are. But can only reflect Roy Hodgson's concerned at the way England are playing in this second half. Montalivo, under Cassano, offside. Very careless from Cassano.
I've got to say, the front two, Balotelli, as you say, could have had a hat-trick. Cassano's been very wasteful, very lazy at times, and as you say, if them two had turned up, this game could be finished.
Oxlade-Chamberlain is also vigorously warming up in the touchline. Surely you don't make your third change this early. Goodness gracious. Free kick to England. 61 minutes played. The lines are definitely open for 606. 0500 909. You may have to be patient if we have extra time. Carroll heads the ball on towards the left side, but ahead of Ashley Young, and it's behind for a goal kick.
I just hope we keep playing, trying to play. I don't want to see that ball all the way up Andy Carroll. Since he's come on, they've threw 4 balls up in the air straight away. 2 throw-ins, 2 long balls. Let's keep playing. He wants crosses.
Well, his physical presence may well trouble the 2 Italian centre-backs more than Welbeck did. Montalivo, on now to Balotelli. Balotelli, right edge of the England penalty area. Cassano is deep. Balotelli, faced by his club colleague Lescott. Back to Montalivo. Pirlo, chips it to the far side. Great ball, De Rossi tries the left foot ball. He shot on goal. Gets it wrong.
What a ball again, Pirlo. What a top player he is, isn't he? Wonderful to watch. Just great passing ability, vision. That is a wonderful ball. Bit of spin on it. And De Rossi, just side foot it. Why lash it? Just side foot it.
17 very worrying minutes played in the second half. Graham Taylor, are we worrying on Julie?
I don't think so, because Italy have come out and they've been in complete charge of the game. A little bit surprised, to see it. It's difficult for them, but I think that England midfield has got to get really closer and tighter. But at the moment we are being outplayed.
Scott Parker though takes the ball off Pirlo, finds Gerrard, who's having a much quieter game tonight for England. On to Ashley Young, certainly fully recovered from that knock. Young infield, runs into De Rossi, and Italy have possession again. Montalivo, back to Abate, and Abate to Buffon, who's been untroubled in the second half. I'm not even sure he's had a cross to deal with.
Well, the only thing you can see is a set piece, isn't it? Andy Carroll's on now as well, or a counter-attack. There's no way it's all Italy dominating possession.
De Rossi to the wasteful Balotelli. We have to say that because of the number of opportunities he's had, and he hasn't looked remotely like taking any of them, but he's still on the pitch, maybe for not much longer. He's back with Bozzagli to Bonucci, and on into the centre circle now, and Marquisio to De Rossi. De Rossi gives it away to Gerrard. Gerrard just taps it to Parker to the left side, and Ashley Cole. We're not getting the full-backs forward in the way we did for a spell in the first half. Ashley Young takes it up midway inside the Italian half. Young into Rooney. Rooney has 2 colleagues to his right, and he feeds it now to Theo Walcott, approaching the penalty. Crosses, take the deflection, Andy Carroll, ball breaks. Ashley Young, shoots wide. Great chance, must have taken the deflection. It's a corner.
Well, it was a low cross by Walcott, and really Italy should have dealt with that for me. It wasn't a great ball in, it's flat. It's a bit of a scramble, comes off a bad end, and Ashley Young did the right thing. He's hit it early enough. Deflection, got closed down. Actually might have hit Andy Carroll out.
Yeah. To be fair, the presence of Carroll certainly unsettled the 2 central defenders for Italy. Nearly 20 minutes played in the second half. 0-0 in Kiev. 5 Live bringing you this game. Last of the quarter-finals. England with a corner. What's the referee? He's talking to Bonucci and to Lescott about pushing, and Gerrard waits patiently to take the corner. Where will Carroll run to? And can Terry and Lescott capitalise? It's played in now. Carroll jumped, the referee spotted pushing. I'm not even sure that it was Carroll. I think it may have been Rooney, and it's a free
kick. How many times you say that? Big centre forwards for England always get penalised, don't they? It doesn't look anything in it. There's pulling.
If anything, Lescott and Terry's shirts are being pulled.
He's gone down, hasn't he, from John Terry. Player dropped down and referee spots it.
Well, give me something. He went down clutching Terry's shirt. Wasn't anything that Terry did. Ball played forward though. Cassano into the England penalty area. Forced wide by Terry. Terry's had a really good night. Cassano takes on Terry again. Edge of the penalty area. Tried to play it through the legs of the former skipper. It's gone behind. It might have been a corner, but it's a goal kick. That's the decision of the referee.
Well, Cassano beats him once, twice, and instead delivering. He's looking for a little nutmeg, doesn't get it. John Terry plays it off him, gets a goal kick. But the two players up front for Italy, chances have wasted, great possession have wasted.
Can it continue to happen though? Can Italy continue to waste chances? Here's Rooney, ball bounced up against his hand, no free kick given, and then the referee gives a free kick, and it's Italy's free kick. De Rossi, Abate to his right, Montolivo over the halfway line, the pass instead goes to Balotelli relatively unmarked, ball flicked infield, Marchisio was there, can't coax it properly to Cassano before it hit an England player, and it's out for an Italian throw.
It's very easy though, isn't it? Oh, to get a quick free kick in the next minute, within 10 seconds they're on the 18-yard box having a shot.
De Rossi, 35 yards out, shoots low, hits Lescott, rebound to De Rossi, fair tackle by Andy Carroll, not inducing a free kick, even though the Italian fans wanted one. Here's Ashley Young, he puts it out of play because he thought De Rossi was injured.
He wasn't. Get the ball back.
I think we are heading for extra time, and to be honest, the way things are going, that would be good for England, because it's all Italy. Halfway through the second period, lines open for 606 0500 909 693. Here's Mike Ingham.
One of the dilemmas facing Roy Hodgson is that if it went to a penalty shootout as Young is fouled, he would want Rooney to be one of the penalty takers. But can you honestly see Rooney lasting 2 hours in this game? And he's only one more change that he can make, Roy Hodgson. John Terry's been absolutely outstanding tonight so far for England. It's a free kick, it's 0-0, you're listening to 5 Live, and Ashley Cole hits it towards Walcott over on the far side. The only time Walcott has been involved since he came on, he caused quite a lot of pandemonium at the back, and now he hasn't got the ball because the whistle's gone again. It's very scrappy at times, and Italy being extremely wasteful when they've had opportunities to put the game beyond England. 0-0, Italy playing from left to right, attacking the end where their fans are, vice versa for England. Now Abate down this near side, the Italian right. Abate, just a short pass back to Pirlo. Will he last the 2 hours if it goes to extra time and penalties? Long one, fantastic ball. From Pirlo to Bazzaretti over on the far side. Chris Waddle applauds away to my right. De Rossi now inside the centre circle. Feeds Pirlo again. England must pick him up every time he's in possession. Parker is trying to shadow him, but can't get the ball off him. Ball glued to his feet, and then it's another delightful one down this near side to Abate. Balotelli's in the penalty area with Cassano. Abate up against Ashley Young, who does very well there to avoid a corner kick. Gets applause from Joe Hart. It's an England goal kick, and we played nearly 24 minutes of the second half. 0-0.
I think players are starting to feel the pace. Quite a warm day. It's nice conditions though, but it's been end-to-end stuff. A lot of players have put a lot of effort in.
When will a referee, by the way, be brave enough to award a penalty? Last time England had a corner, there were shirts being pulled all over the place by the Italian defenders. John Terry almost had his shirt taken off. Now Italy tidying up. It's Pirlo back defensively. Abate hits it too long. Lescott's there. Has to be careful, and then thumps it towards Rooney, who does well in the air. Carroll now looking to control it down this near side. Infield to Rooney. England need to open it up here. It's a bit tight down this near side. Ashley Cole. Ashley Cole's poor ball this time. Italy have it back in midfield, and De Rossi hits an early one this time, looking for Cassano, who's the runner. He won't get that. And of course the other thing about extra time and penalties is you'd expect Italy to want Balotelli to take one, but I don't think he'll be on the field at the end of extra time.
I don't know. I think between the two, they've missed a lot of chances, but for me, Balotelli's been slightly better or more dangerous than Cassano.
Bring in Graham Taylor again in a moment as England clear downfield, and Andy Carroll comes looking for it. Heads the ball on towards Young. Good play from Young to Rooney. Rooney sets off, hasn't got great pace, but Rooney manages to find Walcott in the penalty area. Walcott very tight, gives it back to Parker. Oh, he doesn't shoot first time, and then he lays it too long for Walcott. It's not Parker's game, of course, to score goals. Didn't have the confidence to take it on. It's a goal kick to Italy. Graham Taylor.
Yeah, without concentrating just on one player, that is Parker's, you could argue, almost his first touch in this half. We're being completely outplayed in there, and I think a lot of people said that would happen to us. I think Parker and Gerrard find it very, very difficult now, because Italy are, and have been since the second half started, on top of us. Very difficult for them to get into the game.
England fortunate that Italy have been wasteful when they've had opportunities. Long ball forward now, looking for Balotelli, and Joe Hart's there. So Hart brings the ball out. You thought that Parker should have taken responsibility there, Chris?
Well, you said he's not yet to score goals.
No.
Why can't he strike a ball? It's 25 yards.
It's not his fault. It hasn't been his forte.
But he can strike a ball, surely.
Carroll heads the ball on towards Rooney. Rooney now doing well to get away from his marker, who was Barzagli. Gerrard takes over, trying to get some impetus into this England attack, but he shovels it towards Pirlo, and Italy set off from the back. England are certainly getting great support from the fans here, and Gerrard's gone down with an injury.
Cramp.
It's cramp, is it?
Yes.
Well, let's hope it's only cramp, because he can probably recover from that. It is cramp. You can tell from the way that he's just flexing his muscles at the moment. Out come the physios, and all of the players immediately running to this near side for some water, because as Chris was saying a few moments ago, it's been a very warm day here. The game stops. It's a real timeout, this one. 27 minutes gone in the second half. Jordan Henderson is limbering up, because obviously he would be the player logically to come on if Gerrard couldn't continue. England will not want to lose Steven Gerrard here. Is cramp something that you can shake off, Chris?
Depends how bad it is. It's going to slow him up, there's no doubt about that. It will affect him. I don't think, if you're talking about extra time as well, it's not going to be good. The sign doesn't look good for him.
He's trying to put weight on I think it's his right leg. He's such a driving force, of course, in this England team. He's had a really good tournament, so everybody's back on the field. Gerrard is now just walking off play. He'll come back on again, we hope, as Italy throw the ball back, and Carroll gives it to Walcott, and no, the referee's going to restart the game with a bounce of the ball. Gerrard is still off the field. 28 minutes gone in the second half on 5 Live. England 0, Italy 0, quarter-final of Euro 2012. Every bit as tight as we thought it would be. 4 years ago, the Italians drew 0-0 in the quarter-final with Spain and lost a penalty shootout. This man on the ball, De Rossi, missed a penalty for Italy. High one to the far side, finds Balzaretti. Balzaretti always looking for Pirlo. Pirlo into the back four it goes. Now it's De Rossi on the halfway line with Abate on his outside. Cassano's down the centre. Balotelli's come short. Goes in once more to Pirlo, and then Pirlo lifts it effortlessly to the left-hand side, where Balzaretti cuts it back, and England should clear. And there's a foul this time by Montolivo. Referee's obviously very mindful of players on yellow cards here, of course, threatened with suspension. Although, to be honest, he hasn't really been called upon yet to make major decisions.
I think a lot of players are feeling the tear of the pace. This game could be decided in the last 10 minutes. I tell you that there's a lot of players come off the pace, getting a little bit sloppy.
The Italians haven't made any changes yet. They do have Di Natale on the bench, who's very sharp. England clearance. Ashley Cole heads the ball in field. De Rossi's there, still looking strong. Gerrard's back on inside the centre circle. De Rossi, who said this week that Gerrard was his hero, finds Pirlo once more. Pirlo looking for the best pass. It's into Cassano. John Terry just trying to hold him up, but he's turned away with a good trick there, Cassano. Cassano lifts the ball forward. England defender in the way. Gerrard now, or England, that was a tired pass by Gerrard, gave it straight back to Pirlo, and the Italians once more have it down the left-hand side. And they're linking the play once more with Andrea Pirlo. Pirlo and De Rossi. And now Montolivo strikes the ball into the England defence. Parker clears for Young. Can England escape here? Young against Abate. Nobody ahead of him, and that's really poor play from Young. Gives it back in midfield. England are out of position as Montolivo knocks it forward towards Cassano. It's a good stretch from John Terry. That was really careless from Young of England. And the ball is back in midfield now with Marchisio. Marchisio shot, and Terry's there again, putting his body on the line. And it's a throw to Italy far side.
They're definitely feeling the pace. I think England more than Italy's no doubt about that. They're getting deeper and deeper. They just can't keep the ball.
15 minutes to go. 0-0 here in Kiev. And once more Pirlo has possession. Little flick from Montolivo, very extravagant. Out comes Joe Hart in the England goal. Buffon certainly hasn't been as busy as Hart, but he will know, of course, that any moment something could come his way. We have 15 minutes left of normal time. We are 15 minutes away from extra time here in the quarter-final. It would be the first extra time of the tournament. Ball downfield. Carroll up against the defender, and he's won a free kick against Barzagli. Now England need to take their time here. Make the most of this set piece. There's a foul by Barzagli on Andy Carroll. England now with Carroll on for Welbeck. Different set of problems for the Italian defenders. Now can John Terry, who's been a real braveheart at the other end of the field, go forward and break Jack Charlton's record scoring goals, a record defending scoring goals for England. Terry's on the edge of the penalty area. Lescott's gone forward as well. Gerrard is standing over the ball. Carroll will be dangerous in the air. Watch the shirts being pulled here. The referee at the moment is just more concerned about the Italian wall. Gerrard's a couple of yards away from the ball. He's going to take this one right-footed. Gerrard's ball in towards Rooney. Oh, travelled a very long way. I'm not sure if Rooney was being held back there, but it's gone through to Buffon.
I don't think he was, mate. He just needed contact, didn't he? A little bit of contact there, that's the goal. It's a great ball in. Just little flick, he misses it.
Into the last 15 minutes of the 90, 0-0, and Abate's at walking pace, finding Barzagli. It's not the Italian nature, of course, now to go chasing games in the last 15 minutes. They just may feel they'll take what's happening out there. De Rossi inside the centre circle. De Rossi now for Desire. Remember, the Italians drew their games with Spain and Croatia, got the better of the Republic of Ireland. It's Ashley Young. Now he has to be more careful with the ball here as he goes down the line, and then Gerrard thumps it out of play. Appeal for the throw-in. Very optimistically, Italy have the throw-in. Here comes their first change, and it's going to be Alessandro Diamante, the former West Ham United player, I think, who's going to come on. So, in fact, Prandelli, the Italian coach, his very first game for Italy was at West Ham when they lost to the Ivory Coast after Lippi finished. So Diamante coming on, number 22 soon. It's Cassano, wide on the right-hand side, challenged by Ashley Cole. The coach just saying, just wait a minute here before sending Diamante on. It's going to be an Italian throwing down this near side. He plays for Bologna now, Diamante, and this is going to be his third cap, and he's coming on Christopher Cassano.
Well, there's no surprise. I think you could have taken a pick. I think you'd probably say that Balotelli's a penalty taker. Probably Cassano's as well, but Balotelli's got more legs, a bit younger, a bit fitter.
So can Diamante write himself into the Italian headlines tomorrow morning? Former West Ham player comes on to replace Cassano. It's an Italian throw level with the edge of the England area. It's 0-0 here with just over 10 minutes to go. Ball is thrown by Abate towards Balotelli. Lescott heads it out, but Marchisio pounces, and then the ball is headed up in the air by Parker. Hart struggling a little bit there to fist it away, and it goes out for a dangerous Italian corner near side.
Well, it's a bit of mind over matter, I think, at the minute. I think the lads of England are feeling the pace. They've got to concentrate and dig in.
Trouble is now, if the Italians score, it will be very hard to pull it round. Corner kick to Italy. Both of the centre-backs have gone forward. In it goes. Hart fists it away to the far side. Balzaretti's there, the fullback, drives it in, but off the back of Rooney. And it's a throw-in to the Italians over on the far side. And another change being made now by the Italians. Nocerino, the AC Milan player, who's a midfield player, he's going to come on as the ball is played into the England area, and Johnson was there to head it away once more. Nocerino, I remember playing against Arsenal last season in the Champions League. So he comes on, and they're taking off De Rossi. Well, England will be pretty pleased to see the back of him, I think.
I think he's limping. He's got a bit of an injury, and he's feeling the pace. I've got to say, look, he's limping as he's coming. He wouldn't take him off. No. He must have an injury.
He's very much, though, part of the spine of the team. Is De Rossi's very much sort of Italy's Steven Gerrard. So he's off. He won't be taking a penalty if it goes into the shootout. Nocerino's on. That's a very poor first touch from Diamante. Walcott has to be careful in the right back position. Clears, and the ball is over on the far side. Nocerino's there against Rooney, who appealed for the throw-in, and it's going to be an Italian throw. Italy 0, England 0, with 10 minutes to go in the 90. And it's a little nervy now as Italy look to Pirlo once more to get them moving from midfield. Pirlo for Abate, so both sides have made two changes. Pirlo once more, walking pace. In it goes to the defender, Bonucci, 15 yards inside the England half. Half thought about a shot, then feeds Diamante. Diamante in it quickly, and Hart had to make sure he held on to that, because Balotelli would have come steaming in.
Well, welcome to the game. Good first touch. One thing in his mind, inside his left foot, tries to bend in that bottom corner. Joe Hart, comfortable save.
There isn't very much coming at Buffon's goal at the moment from England, as Hart clears, and it's straight into the Italian midfield again. A little flick ball now and then sent forward from Montolivo to Balotelli, but Johnson was covering well. Glenn Johnson getting in the nick of time. Balotelli cutting a rather frustrated figure up front for Italy, and Hart now taking plenty of time over this clearance. Hart's ball into the Italian half. Carroll heads it on, doesn't find Young. Carroll waiting for Gerrard to take it, and now Rooney. Rooney very tight down this near side with Italian defenders all around him. Rooney managed to nudge it onto Young. He's surrounded by blue. Rooney again escapes from that blue, but then the challenge came in from Montolivo. England lose their way, and Diamante with good pace sets off until he's tracked by Gerrard, who seems to have shaken off that cramp. Now a nice change of pace from Ashley Young, and Ashley Young there, what a full-blooded challenge that was, and it's a yellow card for Barzagli, but he's not one of the players on a yellow card already in the game, so he would be safe if Italy get through to Thursday's semi-final against Germany. But that was a full-blooded, you're not going forward challenge from Barzagli.
Well, a little run by Ashley Young, I haven't seen many of them. A little bit over the top of the ball. It just goes over the top of the ball, so the referee's got that right.
Well, Buffon hasn't really had to make a save in this second half. Great keeper. One of the very best keepers the game has ever seen. Steven Gerrard, though, preparing to take this free kick. 30 yards away from Buffon's goal. Lescott and Terry have gone forward. The Italian defenders will be very attentive here. You can rest assured. Buffon guards his left post. Gerrard sweeps the ball in. Italian header away, only as far as Scott Parker. Parker's shot. Italian threw himself at the ball in the penalty area. I think it's Balzaretti, the fullback. And then when England get the and the referee's going to allow the trainer to come on to look at Balzaretti. Well, maybe he got that one full in the face.
Well, we'll see. We'll get the replay. Again, dangerous free kick in. They deal with it this time very well. Italy. Good header away.
Well, it was Bazzagli's header away. It was Scott Parker who drove the ball in.
No, he stood on his shoulder.
He accidentally,
it wasn't his face.
Yeah,
his shoulder.
Maybe the top of the ribs as well. So Barzagli at the moment receives attention. Graham Taylor, what's your latest thinking with 7 minutes to go?
Is John Terry's shirt being pulled, and you know, I think the referee generally had a good game, but just generally speaking, all the shirt pulling that is going on in the penalty box, it's just almost totally being ignored. And although we've seen everything there, Terry had his shirt deliberately pulled again as he went to the ground, and there seems to be nobody's taking any notice of that whatsoever.
Well, it's always a debate, of course. UEFA President Michel Platini's here, by the way, this evening. It's whether or not any referee is going to come out and be strong and make a stand, because it does happen really virtually every time the Italians play. That's always been their way. As Hart clears, as Carroll now looks to try and head this ball, brings it down in the end, neatly on the floor. Parker will feed Walcott. Rooney waits. Walcott waiting for someone maybe to go on the outside. Sends it back to Johnson. Just over 5 minutes to go. Still 0-0 in Kiev. It's Terry now with a high one. Towards Young. Abate coming in. Young heads it towards the penalty area. Easy pick up from Buffon. And out come Italy once more.
I think it's unfortunate. They've got to keep it a bit shorter. Players are really leggy out there at the moment, and the longer balls, people are not. They ain't got the pace to chase it.
Oh, great interception from John Terry. Now at the end of it, he played it behind Walcott, and he's out of position now, Terry. It's with Italy and Montolivo. Just seems a little bit uncertain which way to go. Still Montolivo. Terry's back in the defence. Montolivo now for Balzaretti, who's recovered from that blow he got. Not Chirino's touch. The Italians knocking it around, but not knocking it forward. Balotelli waits. It's back inside the centre circle. It's with the defender Bonucci and now Pirlo. It's very slow from both sides. A goal though now would certainly be enough. Italy's Balotelli being shadowed by his clubmate Lescott. Has to give it back to Abate. It's very much safety first football at the moment, with only 4 minutes or so to go to extra time. It's what most people, I think, expected to happen, that we would go into extra time here. The Italians once more taking no chances at all. They're just knocking 5-yard balls, and it'll go back to Buffon. It's almost like they've settled for it already here. They're not making much attempt here to get forward. Italy just winding down the clock with 4 minutes to go of normal time. Now Abate. Joe Hart waiting as the ball travels towards Balotelli. Handball by Balotelli. Not given though. Yes, it is now. Wasn't flagged, but it's been given by the referee, and it's a free kick to
I think
England.
the Italian ward's kicked in now, hasn't it? No risk. They've not tried to force any issues these last couple of minutes. I think they're in their mind as well. They're thinking we'll have to do it in extra time if we're going to win this game.
Well, they can be very pragmatic in these situations now. They're not going to venture forward and leave themselves open to a counter-attack. As maybe under instruction from their coach, Hart clears towards Carroll. Carroll's header, looking for Walcott. Back again to Carroll. Carroll now on the edge of the penalty area. And still Carroll. He can't get the shot in. Parker feeds. Oh, he should have fed Walcott. But it's away from Walcott. And it's going to be an Italian goal kick.
They're the moments. I know people are leggy and tired, but you make sure that ball gets to Theo Walcott, who should be very fresh coming on as a substitute. And it's a wasted opportunity.
We're facing extra time, and both of the coaches can make one more change. Barzagli on a yellow card in the game, and they're just keeping the ball at the back at the moment, the Italians, and that moment just then would have made sure even more, I think, that perhaps that they look to keep it tight. But now Pirlo goes forward, and there could be some danger here from England right at the end of the game. Some danger here maybe as Abate raids down the right-hand side, but I don't think he'll get that. That's gone behind for a goal kick. It really has been incredibly cagey over the last 5 or 6 minutes.
Pirlo there, a little bit ambitious. He's had a magnificent game, Pirlo, in midfield, but Abate has showed a lot of pace down this right-hand side second half. That was just asking a little bit too much.
England have benefited here tonight from a lack of sharpness, really, and clinical finishing from the Italians. As Carroll now knocks the ball onto Walcott, and here goes Walcott to Rooney. Hasn't been cleared yet by the Italians, but they've always got the extra player back there, and only Balotelli downfield. But England have to be very careful. As now Nocerino has it on the halfway line. Back to Montolivo. Under 2 minutes to go of normal time. Some tired legs down there. If there's a score now, that really will take the team through to the quarter-final. There'll be no reply. Pirlo now for Abate, right-hand side. Now England have to get everybody back. Only Andy Carroll downfield. The Italians with Marchisio and Montolivo. Marchisio once more. Marchisio's ball forward, looking for... That's great defending it was by Glenn Johnson. It was Nocerino who got in behind the England defence, and Johnson came across in the nick of time to save it.
Well, what a run, what a ball, what a first touch. Brilliant defending by Johnson. That was wonderful play by Italy. What a touch and hit.
Well, we have 1 minute to go, and the Italian defenders are now very happy to go forward because they've got a corner, and their main man Pirlo is on the ball. It's Pirlo with an Italian corner. The two defenders have gone forward. In goes the corner, a big, deep one. Rooney needs to head this away up against Diamante. Diamante's got it, and we've got 50 seconds to go. 0-0. Diamante's dangerous ball in, which Johnson heads away. That's an Italian throw over on the far side, so the Italians are closing the 90 minutes in possession inside the England half. Diamante against Walcott. Diamante's ball in travels a very long way, and now Ashley Young just needs to be careful here. And he played the ball off the Italian, and it's going to be a throw, and we're going to have an Italian change right at the end of the 90 minutes. Maggio's going to come on, presumably for Abate, the right back. He's a good player. He played in the opening games for Italy. Bit surprising that he's not starting tonight's game. The change hasn't been made yet. It's Andy Carroll of England with 10 seconds to go. Again, there won't be a great deal of time to be added on at the end of the 90, just for the changes, I suppose. And I suppose the injury to Gerrard as well, the cramp, which he's recovered from. England 0, Italy 0. The Italian third change hasn't been made yet. Italy, 3 minutes of added time, and we have played 15 seconds of the 3 minutes. We're facing another 30 minutes deep into the night here in Kiev. We're 2 hours ahead of you in the UK. It's Montolivo of Italy, one for Balotelli to chase down the channel here, down the right hand side. Lescott is there, and Lescott does his job and puts it out for a throw in, and now the change is made, and as anticipated, Maggio, who loves to go forward down the right hand side, comes on for a rather weary looking Abate, who I don't think really recovered from that blow on the head he got earlier in the second half. So on comes Maggio and immediately camps inside the England half, and he may take this throw. He will. 2 minutes of added time. Ball thrown into the unmarked Diamante on the edge of the area. Diamante slips the ball back to Pirlo. Pirlo is unmarked. Pirlo trying to get the ball into the penalty area. It'll be headed away by Ashley Cole. At the moment, England having to do the defending. Only Rooney downfield. And Andy Carroll's come back to try and help the defenders. Italy have it. Marchisio into midfield for Pirlo. Balotelli waits. Pirlo strikes the ball at Parker. Counter-attack for England if Rooney can feed Walcott, and he does. Walcott's on the halfway line. Doesn't take the ball cleanly with him. Cross comes the defenders. They box him in down the right-hand side. Walcott needs to hold it. Into Rooney. And now back to Johnson. Good play in the end by England. Now, how ambitious will England be here? With a minute and 20 seconds to go. Rooney walking down that right-hand side. Andy Carroll poised. Johnson moves on the outside. Rooney's ball in, easily cut out by Barzagli. And Nocerino's there. And Italy are careless. Rooney has it on the edge of the penalty area. Back from Carroll to Rooney. Ashley Young, seconds to go. In comes Ashley Cole. Cole's ball to the far post. Carroll's off balance. Oh, Rooney with an overhead kick. Hits the ball over the bar. What a moment that might have been.
And that was the best chance of the second half. First time we've seen Ashley Cole get to the byline, stands up a wonderful cross, comes back across to Rooney. Andy Carroll really reaches high for his header, and Rooney just can't control the overhead kick. I can't believe Italy give the ball away in such a tight area.
Tiredness, I think, as much as anything else. 30 seconds to go. Added time at the end of 90 minutes. One last chance now maybe for Italy. They hit a long one to this near side. Maggio controls it well. He, of course, is fit and fresh, having come on. It's a wasted ball, though, by Diamante. It runs away. That is just about it. Referee looks at his watch for the first time. 10 seconds to go. It's pretty much what everyone thought would happen. 0-0 after 90 minutes. Extra time looming. It is approaching midnight here in Kiev as Joe Hart sends the ball downfield. Carroll heads it on. Walcott won't get that. Balzaretti's there. We go into extra time almost inevitably. After 90 minutes, it's 0-0.
Well, two firsts tonight. The first game in Euro 2012 to finish 0-0 after 90 minutes, and the first time we've got extra time. And whether we like it or not, we have to face facts here. England have been comprehensively outplayed. Buffon caught one free kick from Gerrard in the second half that was meant as a cross for Rooney to head in, but the only save he's had to make was from Glenn Johnson in the opening few minutes of the game. England will kick off the first period of extra time, all in white, defending the goal to the left, and if the pattern of the first 90 minutes is followed, they'll be defending that goal for almost the whole of this 30 minutes. And it might be penalty kicks, folks. Here's Pirlo in the centre circle. Pirlo slides the pass forward. Diamante back to Pirlo again. Nocerino, a substitute for Italy down the left hand side. Montalivo back to Nocerino and tap to the left back. Balzaretti. Now Montalivo again, and well, it's still Italy dominant. Here's Diamante. Diamante swings the ball in. Balotelli made no effort to get to it, and it's cleared by Terry, and then Ashley Young forward to Carroll. Carroll's done really well to find Walcott. Back to Carroll on the halfway line. I think he's going to be smothered here by Italian channels. No, he wins the ball back, does he? No, goes down and he doesn't get the free kick. So here's Pirlo to the far side. You're listening to 5 Live, let me remind you, as if you were ever in any doubt. And 606 will follow. Ball back in Italy's possession. It's with Diamante to Nocerino. Montalivo midway inside the England half, forward to Balotelli. Balotelli hustled by Lescott, loses it, and Scott Parker chips it to the halfway line. Carroll tries to get there, falls over, I think trying to fool the referee that he had actually been fouled by Bonucci, but he wasn't. And here's Balotelli, 25 yards out on his right foot. He's got Maggio available on the far side. He ignores him. He plays it back to Pirlo. Pirlo's been wonderful tonight, as has John Terry for England. Pirlo again. swings it now to Maggio of Napoli in the far side. Maggio with Marchisio in field in the inside right channel. Marchisio moves one way and then takes it away from Steven Gerrard. Exchanges passes with Diamante. And they're being patient here. Nocerino then shoots, but that's high over the crossbar and behind for a goal kick.
That's the England game plan, isn't it? Keep people in front of you and allow people to shoot from 25-30 yards. That's what they based this system on, and that's what happened. A lot of possession playing in front of them, and Henderson's going to come on.
But who for?
Well, it's got to be one of the two midfield boys.
Well, Parker or Gerrard.
Unless he's going to go.
Well, both of them are.
Unless he's going to go narrow midfield with Ashley Young.
Well done, Carroll. Finding Rooney. Rooney's pass back didn't find Carroll, and it should be cleared, and it is cleared by Balzaretti. Up towards Balotelli. Elaborate dive by Balotelli, ignored by the referee. Ashley Cole on the far side of the field. Well, I mean, if it's either Parker or Gerrard, they're two of our more obvious penalty takers. Ball given away on the far side by Ashley Young, and then the referee has pulled play back, I think, for a tackle by Maggio on Ashley Young, and Maggio would miss the semi-final if Italy go through. He's already been booked.
Well, he didn't start the game, so I don't think Italy would be too bothered about that. But again, set piece. This is Steven Gerrard. Can he put delivery? He has a substitution.
So we've got Lescott up and Terry up and Carroll up and Rooney lurking in the D. Parker's going to take it.
That was coming off.
Parker's coming off. You had me fooled there. Well, he would have taken a penalty, surely, Scott Parker.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure Henderson will. Henderson coming on. So how many Liverpool players are on now? 4? After a mediocre club season. Gerrard with a free kick. The England captain. 3 yards in from the left touchline. Lescott, Carroll, Terry. Come on, plant it, Stephen, on one of their heads. Here it comes, swung in. Carroll's there, almost under Terry. Lescott still has a chance. Buffon finally dives on the ball.
It's a free kick, offside. It's an offside.
There was a scramble in there.
It was an offside. I think it was at scrambles. I think Italy played very, very high. Look, they're offside, and when they take it, there's 2 of them running offside anyway. Flag went up very early.
Marchisio, edge of the centre circle, plays it through the circle to the left side, and Balzaretti, the left back, to Pirlo. And Pirlo, that's a good ball forward, but it's wasted by Diamante. Couldn't control it. Henderson, back to Cole. And Cole turning back towards the England goalkeeper Joe Hart. Balotelli was nearby, but Hart knocks it away to safety on the far side of the field. Headed in play by Young, but only to Italy's possession. Diamante taps it back to Montolivo. Almost stood on the ball, having to retreat now under pressure from Ashley Young. Plays it back into the centre circle, and England have got everybody back inside their own half. The pattern is maintained. Italy dominate. Great crossfield ball to the far side of the field. Diamante controls it at the second attempt onto his left foot. When's the cross coming in? It's whipped in, headed up and away by Lescott. Good header clear by Walcott to Rooney. Walcott again. Walcott now fresh over the halfway line. Go on, Theo, run at them. Theo inside left channel, taps it to Rooney, edge of the penalty area. Rooney into the box now. Is he taking far too long? He is. Surrounded by blue shirts, loses the ball.
He didn't have many options. Balotelli's onside.
Through to Balotelli, but he couldn't bring the ball down.
How many times we've seen that run from Balotelli? A high line, time on the ball for Pirlo again to deliver.
6 minutes gone in the first period of extra time here on 5 Live. England 0, Italy 0. Johnson, who's the only meaningful goal attempt by England the whole evening. Played forward now by Terry to Carroll, and then spins it away from a white shirt and is back with Italy. Nocerino to the left, and Diamante to the fullback, who's got his socks down around his ankles now. Balzaretti. I mean, Italy have worked harder than England. They've covered more ground than England, had more passes than England, but are likely to be just as tired as England.
Well, they'll be tired. Not a lot of ball.
Pirlo to Marchisio, back to Pirlo on the halfway line, just to the right of the centre circle. Maggio to his right. Pirlo's looking for Balotelli. Balotelli flicks it on, but behind Diamante, and I think we're nailed on for penalties. nailed on. Because you can tell in the second period of extra time, Italy will rather have penalty kicks than go for it. And I'm not sure that England can go for it, except at a set piece. Good work by Andy Carroll, taking the ball in his chest. Played to Rooney. Rooney to the left side, Ashley Young. Carroll waits for the cross. There's played in. Keeper looking for Walcott. Too high for Theo Walcott. Caught by Buffon. In UEFA terms, that probably counts as a save. Certainly tonight. Maggio taps it to Pirlo, and now Marchisio to Maggio. A good ball into Balotelli. Balotelli shoots from a ridiculous range. It hits the backside of Lescott and rebounds out of play for a throw-in.
Very ambitious. Well, he didn't think he had the legs to go and commit. Lescott decided to shoot. Gets a throw-in.
I mean, we're obviously bound up in this game because it matters so much to us. But in the overall context of Euro 2012, has it been as good as the others? What do you think, Chris?
Well, I think it's... listen, we talked about England before. The possession stats and everything will go with it. England's just grinded results out.
Pirlo to Balotelli. I'll get Graham Taylor's opinion in a moment. Balotelli shoots, takes a deflection, loops in the air. Simple catch from Joe Hart. Graham Taylor, what do you think?
I think it takes all different types, isn't it? And what we're doing here, we're seeing such one-sided game. It actually holds our interest simply on the basis we can't believe that Italy aren't in the lead. It just holds your interest because are England going to hold on? Is it going to go to penalties? So it's a different type of game.
And should we care that the rest of Europe is probably looking at England and saying, hey, they're not much of a team. They've been dominated in all 4 games. How are they still in the competition? We still might reach the semi-finals. Heaven help us facing Germany then. But let's deal with that barrier if we can get past Italy. Pirlo to Barzagli. Barzagli now to Bonucci. And on now to Montolivo. Montolivo, rather surprisingly, stayed on the pitch when De Rossi was taken off. Pirlo, good ball forward to Balotelli. Balotelli a yard outside the penalty. Shoots right footed straight at Joe Hart. Simple save.
Well, good feet, Balotelli. Pirlo again spots that run from Balotelli. Gets it 1-1 against Lescott. Just gets off the yard. Again, comfortable save from a shot from 23, 24 yards.
The lines have been open for quite a while now for 606. 0500 909 693. And I reckon you might still be half an hour away if we have penalty kicks. Here's Carroll. Carroll didn't find where he should have done, even though he was under pressure. And the ball's back to Buffon, who's been almost a disinterested spectator for all of the game. Barzagli to the far side of the field. In from Maggio to Marchisio. Over the halfway line now, the Juventus player. And then he stabs a good ball to the left side. Nocerino. Back to Montolivo again. Marchisio once more. 25 yards out. Couple of step overs. Not Ronaldo-like. Not remotely Ronaldo-like. Then he passes simply to the right. To Maggio. Into Diamante. Diamante to Maggio again. Italy probing. But they ultimately haven't found a way through England. Not at the moment. Marchisio. To Pirlo, the man who might. Marchisio again. 5 minutes left in the first period of extra time here on 5 Live. Still 0-0. Balotelli back to Diamante. Diamante crosses into the penalty. Oh, Joe Hart! My goodness, he didn't come for it. It hit his post and is behind for a goal kick.
Well, it was a cross to try and pick out the run. He's overhit it, hasn't he? Nocerino was never going to get that. Joe Hart just watched it bounce and he misses it. Hits the post and goes away.
That's the second time Joe Hart's right hand post has been hit tonight. De Rossi did it early on and Diamante's just done it in extra time. Roy Hodgson with eyes down at the turf. England still hanging on here. Throw into England on the halfway line, near side the right in the first period of extra time. Throw goes to Henderson. Back to Johnson, and Johnson let the ball run under his foot out of play. Throw into Italy. Sort of careless mistake that England have made all night. Throw goes to Pirlo. Pirlo chips it to the far side to Maggio. Maggio's overhit it. Walcott took it off him, and I thought Maggio fouled him, but no. And it's out of play, and it's going to be a throw into Italy. 4 minutes left in the first period of extra time. Then another 15 minutes, and then you can bet your life on it, penalty kicks. Diamante to Montalivo, on to Balotelli. Balotelli definitely fouled John Terry. I think the referee was waiting to see where the ball went. He's just playing the advantage, isn't he, because the ball was back with Joe Hart.
Yeah, John Terry got ahead of him and he just put his leg out, blocked him off. Definite free kick. No rush from Joe Hart.
Oh, he has given the free kick. John Terry has been wonderful tonight. It's one of his best games playing for England. Absolutely outstanding. Thoroughly justifying his selection by Roy Hodgson. Whatever may lie in wait next month in the courts of England. Joe Hart's free kick, headed away by Italy. Balotelli, nice touchdown. Fed to the left by Diamante to Nocerino. Ball still inside the Italy half though. Montalivo. Look how isolated Balotelli is at the moment. Italy are just making sure they've got enough bodies in midfield so that they're not caught out by any kind of sucker punch from England. Barzagli on to Pirlo, and Pirlo glides it in the direction of Maggio. It's intercepted by Ashley Young. Ashley Young plays it to Carroll. Carroll, woeful touch from him. England lose it, and that's just happened so often tonight. There was no pressure there on Andy Carroll, just a poor touch. Nocerino to Montalivo. 2 minutes to go to half time and extra time. Montalivo to the right side and Maggio. Pirlo goes across, makes himself available, but instead it's back to Barzagli. Montalivo again. Balotelli furthest forward. Simple pass to the right though to Pirlo. Where's the movement? Balotelli had dropped deep. Now it's fed to the fullback Maggio. Balotelli's wide of the England penalty area, and then he chips it towards Maggio again. It's intercepted, and Ashley Young should clear, hitting it straight out of play for a throw-in. It's just one way. Tell me when you ring in 6:06 that you're not frustrated by this. Okay, listen, we'll all be cheering if England win 1-0 or on penalty kicks, but this is not clever. It's so Greek-like. It's painful. Marchisio to the right side and Balotelli. Italy don't have a striker inside the England penalty area. Montalivo waits. Nocerino was temporarily in the penalty area. Now Balotelli is. But still no great forward movement from Italy. Are they really settling for penalties as well?
They're not taking any risks, are they? It's simple as that. They're playing possession. They're waiting for an opportunity if they can get one.
Pirlo dances away from Rooney. Pirlo then hustled by Henderson. Has to turn the other way. And it's fed down the left side to Nocerino. Back to the fullback, Bozzaretti. We've got 20 seconds of the first 15 minutes of extra time remaining here in Kiev. Still 0-0. You're listening to 5 Live. Ball breaks kindly to Italy. Edge of the penalty area. Oh, was that a foul? Goodness gracious. Carroll got away with it. Carroll now with Theo Walcott running down the right. Great run by Ashley Cole down the left. It's tapped back to Ashley Young though, who's on the halfway line. We've got a minute of added time at the end of the first period of extra time. Here's John Terry. Terry to Johnson down the right side. We haven't seen anybody out in the England technical area for a long while, but Prandelli is prancing around the Italian technical area. Hit down the left side. Ashley Young controls it. 30 seconds of added time remaining here. Still 0-0 in Kiev. In now to Henderson. Henderson to the right side and Johnson. How Andy Carroll would love a cross in from Johnson. Johnson taps it low. Theo Walcott's there. Chipped into the far post. Carroll's there. And he can't head it back before it's gone behind for a goal kick.
Well, you've got a threat with Walcott in his place, haven't you? His deliveries are not always the best, we know. He did change the last game and he's hit a little bit over, hit it to the far post, and Andy Carroll, impossible. It's well behind the goal as he tries to head it back.
And the referee, whistle to lips, blows for half time and extra time. It's still 0-0.
Well, we've been down this road so many times before. Of course, the thing is, we're talking about England hanging on for penalties, but we must say England have lost their last 4 penalty shootouts. However, maybe we won't get that.
But they've been practicing.
We understand. Roy Hodgson was asked before the game whether he might make a tactical substitution with penalties in mind. Well, he can't do that now, because I think if he was going to make a tactical substitution to bring on a penalty taker, then he would have thought about somebody like Leighton Baines. But that can't happen now. And we won't talk about penalties for another 10 minutes at least. It's 0-0 here, and it's a very, very slow game now. Barzagli to Diamanti, turned in field to Marchisio. Henderson doesn't cut it out, and now down the left-hand side, Balzaretti, Italy playing in this final period of extra time from left to right. This is 5 Live, it's 0-0, as in comes a challenge, very tired challenge from Ashley Young, takes Diamanti down. The coach wants the free kick, and he hasn't made his decision yet. He's now blown the whistle, I think, so Diamanti can receive it. I don't know if he's actually given a free kick here. The ball's gone out of play, and I mean, people are just strolling around the field at the moment, Chris, aren't they?
Well, it's that fear factor now, isn't it? Nobody wants to make a mistake. Both defences, obviously England have defended all game, let's be honest, but Italy now, where they were having a go in that 90 minutes, have obviously put into that defensive mode and thought, keep the ball, and if it's going to go to penalties, we'll take our chances as well. If we can get a chance, brilliant, but we're not going to take any risks.
The big winner here this evening is Germany. 2 days extra to prepare for the semi-final against one of these two, who are now being taken into Monday morning here in Ukraine to settle this game. So Germany will be laughing at the moment as they await the winners of this match. And now Italy again, the likelier team, because they've had much more of the ball than England. They lay it forward looking for Maggio. Ashley Young was a bit slow to react. Maggio's brought in, Lescott slips, but Terry doesn't. Outstanding at the back, Terry. Cole clears into Carroll, really looking for the flick on. Carroll doesn't find him. In goes Bonucci. Juggling with the ball is not Chirino, and he presents it to Pirlo once more. We're into the final period of extra time in this quarter-final, and Gerrard fails to cut the ball out, and Italy go forward through Diamanti, just inside the penalty area. Diamanti's heavy ball to the far post doesn't find Balotelli. So we're finishing off the quarter-finals here. If it was one quarter-final that was going to go all the way, it was going to be this one.
Yeah, everybody was saying that. Diamanti there, he's looked quite sharp since he come on, Diamanti, I've got to say.
Yeah, the surprising thing for me, Chris, was that he came on ahead of Di Natale.
Yeah, strange, but he's looked quite sharp.
Di Natale, who scored against Spain in Italy's first game. Italy looking to win. Oh, that defender has fallen awkwardly there, and also turned into Ashley Young as well, so we'll have more time added on here. And it's Maggio who's gone down, the fullback. I think he just turned into he fell awkwardly after challenging Andy Carroll, and then he just turned inadvertently into Ashley Young, who's got some sort of blow in the face. So it's a free kick to Italy, and it will be taken by Pirlo once more back inside his own half. He will certainly be an Italian penalty taker, but we're not talking about penalties. Bonucci onto Montolivo with 3 minutes gone in the final period of added time. It's 0-0 here in Kiev, and Italy at walking pace as well as England. Now looking for Pirlo down the right hand side. Maggio, who's recovered from the injury. Balotelli waits. Maggio gives it to Diamanti. England have to be careful. Diamanti twisting and turning. Balotelli waiting with not Chirino in the area. Down goes Maggio. That's a clumsy challenge from Ashley Young, and that's not great under the circumstances. That's given Italy a dangerous free kick.
Well, again, Ashley Young, as the game started, we had that spell first half, but basically he's played his left back again, as he has in every other game.
Well, this is where Italy will certainly be adventurous, and this is where they will commit players forward, and the Italian fans now raising it for their side as their centre-backs go into the penalty area, and the free kick will be taken wide on the right-hand side, not by Pirlo, but by Diamanti. This is dangerous for Joe Hart and England. Italy scored both of their goals from set pieces against Ireland. England have to be very careful now. There's not much time left in this quarter-final. Italian free kick taken and headed away from Balotelli. It'll come out to Pirlo though. Still danger here for England. Pirlo trying to get a cross in from the left-hand side. Dangerous, but Andy Carroll heads it away. Henderson tries to complete the clearance. Marchisio almost managed to get that forward again, and it goes from Balzaretti once more to Pirlo. Little jig from him in midfield, and then a spray pass once more. Fantastic first touch from Diamanti on the edge of the England penalty area. Diamanti's ball in which Lescott awkwardly clears. England very much on the back foot now. Young completes the clearance. Rooney and Carroll are getting nothing at the moment. It's all Italy, but it's still 0-0, and it's Marchisio now as Carroll comes back and with a clumsy challenge fouls him. It's a long way out for Pirlo, but he'll be probably involved in this.
Well, wonderful play again by Pirlo. Pirlo's just man of the match by far for me. And Italy again, just having a little go now, where the pace dropped, they've livened it up again.
10 minutes to go in added time in Kiev. Balotelli's also come around the ball here. This kick is 40 yards away from Joe Hart's goal. The balls, of course, have been flying in the tournament. And Balotelli to the right and Pirlo to the left. Hart must not parry this one out to a blue shirt. This is serious stuff now for England, as Pirlo stands over the ball with Balotelli just behind him. Of course, he's got a ferocious shot when he wants Balotelli. Hart stands with his legs apart at the moment, away to the right. Will Pirlo deliver for somebody, or will Balotelli have a crack and hope that Hart can mishandle it? It's going to be Balotelli. Balotelli dreadful into the flags from Italy away to the right, which sort of rounds off his evening really, although he still may well be involved in the penalty shootout.
No, it's not his best effort, is it? He's had chances all evening, let's be honest. He could have scored a few goals tonight, but I just didn't fancy him from there. He looks a bit tired.
England's only really dangerous moments have been when Walcott's been in a position as Carroll heads the ball on, but he doesn't find a very tired, rather laboured Rooney, and Italy start again from midfield, and it's with Nocerino over on the left hand side. 0-0 and almost half of this final period of added time being played. Gerrard's moved, let Diamanti with a lovely ball to Maggio. Danger for England. Maggio shot against Ashley Cole. Marchisio puts it back again though to Maggio, and Pirlo settles on the ball once more. Pirlo for Italy. Wide right now for Maggio. They are the likelier team still, as they have been almost from the off. Nocerino back towards the halfway line, and the defender Barzagli. Now Montolivo for Balzaretti over on the left. It's back in midfield, and all of the England players back behind the ball as Pirlo now finds Nocerino. Down the left hand side for Balzaretti. Balzaretti cuts it in. Oh, Diamanti was there and screws it wide.
That is a good chance. That is a very good chance. Again, patient build up. Use the wings very, very well. It just doesn't hit it, does it? Just doesn't hit it. It's way to the target.
England are fortunate that the Italians have really not been very sharp tonight in front of goal. Cassano, who started the game, and with Balotelli, and there was a miss from Diamanti, a miss also from De Rossi, who did hit the post. The Italians have hit the post twice in this game. Buffon really hasn't been called upon. He's got the ball at the moment though, and of course he was in the Italian goal when they won the World Cup on penalties back in 2006. Lescott now getting in ahead of Balotelli. Henderson doesn't get there in midfield, and it's Montolivo to Balotelli, back again to Montolivo to Marchisio. Still all Italian possession. Diamanti, Maggio had made the run, but Ashley Cole managed to get a foot in. England just can't get hold of the ball here. 8.5 minutes to go. The Italians stretching England again down the right hand side. Maggio's ball in, missed by Henderson. Johnson needs to clear this, and he does. He takes it around Montolivo. Somebody needed to boot that one away for England. Johnson clears downfield towards Carroll. Carroll's header on, but the defender is there, and Barzagli ushers it back once more to Buffon. Let's get another word from Graham Taylor with about 6 minutes to go here, Graham.
Well, it's the same, isn't it? There's very little more you can say. It's all Italy, and they're just controlling all of it at time. They're just speeding up a little bit and being a little bit more positive going for the England goal.
It's Balotelli once more now. England defenders trying to close him down, but he finds Diamanti inside the penalty area. Diamanti's dangerous ball. It's offside. They've scored, but it's offside. They put the ball in the back of the net from Nocerino, but the linesman flagged immediately, and Italy are frustrated.
Well, I was going to say it's been coming, hasn't it? But he's offside. Flag goes up. It's not going to count, but again, Italy just cut England apart. And the ball comes in early, let's see. Yes, he is offside. There's a good yard offside. Linesman got it right, spot on.
And Hart clears, and Carroll now tries to get a knock down, and Carroll's got the ball, and Carroll finds Rooney back to Carroll. Carroll should have found Young. England are looking so tired. Down the other end of the field, it comes straight back at them. But is it going to be one of those tournaments for England? Lucky to survive, of course, against Ukraine when Terry cleared from behind the line, and here hanging on against the better team Italy, who've just been denied a goal for offside. It's Pirlo inside the centre circle. Over to Balzaretti, relentless from the Italians. The frustrated Nocerino for Pirlo. England are giving Pirlo a lot of room in midfield at the moment. Diamanti for Balotelli. But the defenders are there once more. Cole's clearance. Rooney now doesn't have any legs at all. He manages to play it into Carroll. Rooney runs into the defender, and Pirlo immediately finds Marchisio in midfield. It's coming back at England all the time from the men in blue, from the Azzurri from Italy. 0-0 though, with under 5 minutes to go. We're under 5 minutes away from another penalty shootout for England in the tournament. It's Pirlo. Pirlo's drill ball down the right hand side. Maggio, only Balotelli in the area. That'll change in a moment. Maggio once more. Ball in to the edge of the area. Montolivo being shadowed by Gerrard. Italy still have it by the corner flag. They've got a corner. They've got a corner, and now England have to get everybody back, and Joe Hart has to get a good view of this. And Bonucci and Barzagli, two enormous figures from the back for Italy, come forward. Corner kick to Italy with hardly any time to go here in added time. England hanging on, trying to get to penalties, it seems. In comes a deep corner to the far post, travelled an awful long way, and out of play for an England goal kick. And we have 3.5 minutes to go.
Well, a wasted corner when England have got to say defended pretty well from set pieces, as they do. They're normally good in both boxes, but it's amazing, Mike, how we can't keep the ball. And I mean keep the ball. I'm not talking about the first 3 games as well, but tonight, I mean, Italy, people are saying are an ordinary side, but wow, we can't get the ball off them.
Gary Neville's instructions there. He was just urging everyone to get downfield. That was the message. Don't be sitting deep here and allowing Italy to come onto you. Lift yourselves up also was the instruction, but England are looking weary. The Italians, though, may have to settle for a penalty shootout with only 2.5 minutes to go. 0-0 here in Kiev in the Olympic Stadium for the right to play Germany in Warsaw in the second semi-final on Thursday. Italy once more being allowed to have the possession. England retreat. Terry and Lescott have been outstanding at the back for England tonight, but the ball is going to come their way once more. Again, England backing off. Montolivo looking for some space. There isn't very much of it as England try and fill all the gaps. Now Pirlo looking to stretch England down the right. Maggio's there against Ashley Cole. That's a very heavy ball, but it might drop to Nocerino, who brings it down on the edge of the area. Nocerino with 3 Italians waiting in the penalty area. Knocks it back for Italy to Montolivo. Now the fullback Balzaretti over on the left. Balzaretti back again to Montolivo. Montolivo's tired shot though goes into the advertising board, and we're 1.5 minutes away from penalties.
Well, looks like it's going that way, but Italy again, that was a tired effort, wasn't it, from Montolivo? But the amount of space and time they've had on the ball all evening, apart from that 15-minute spell in the first half, only one team turned up.
As soon as we got into the quarterfinals, all the talk in the England camp around the media was penalties, because that's been, of course, the bane of England's life in recent tournaments, and they're now facing another one. But tonight, to be honest, have they really earned the right? Well, I suppose they have in terms of keeping a clean sheet and making it 0-0, but the Italians have been the better side. And now Diamanti still showing great pace. Gerrard is there, and the free kick has been given against him, but we're into the last minute of added time. The Italians desperate to get the ball down now to take this free kick. So still Terry and Lescott will have to deal with this. And it's being left to Maggio, the fullback, who just touches the ball off to Diamanti. 45 seconds to go. Marchisio for Italy. England with everybody back. They hope behind the ball. It's gone in, and Henderson's there controlling it. Hart can't pick it up, and he clears towards the touchline down this near side, where Barzagli manages to keep it in and find Diamanti. Control not from him this time. Gerrard clears. Carroll will take it. The header back was behind Rooney. Rooney's really struggling to move here. He's looking for a free kick, and the referee's given it to him, and that, I think, will secure the penalty shootout, because we've now only got 10 seconds to go. And if the ball is going to go into a penalty area now, it will be from England. That might be the last chance that Italy get to win this in extra time. In fact, the kick will not be taken, and at nearly midnight here in Kiev. This quarter-final of Euro 2012 will be settled yet again from an England point of view through penalties.
And since Joe Hart is making his way towards the penalty area first, leaving Buffon on the halfway line with his colleagues, you'd think that Italy will be taking the first penalty. In fact, Mario Balotelli will take the first penalty. Now, will Joe Hart be sledging Balotelli? He says he doesn't care about he's talking away to Balotelli, who's smiling back. Hart still not retreating. Look, he's glaring at Balotelli, smiling at Balotelli, as if, yeah, I know where you take them in training, I know all about your penalty kicks. So Joe Hart, and again he just delays things. He throws a water bottle to one side, finally takes up his position in the centre of the goal, crouches, so it's Manchester City against Manchester City. Balotelli hesitates, but slams the penalty low under the despairing right hand of Joe Hart, and Italy lead 1-0.
Well, what was that, psyching each other out? Two club mates. Balotelli took the first penalty, very brave. Type of lad he is, and it was a wonderful penalty.
Well, it's so important to put the first one in and put the pressure on the opposition. Stepping forward as a man who's led really well in this tournament for England, a man who's taken many penalties in his career, Steven Gerrard, up against one of the greatest goalkeepers we've ever seen in Gigi Buffon. Buffon will look enormous in the Italian goal as Gerrard scores, sending Buffon dived the right way but couldn't get into the corner where the ball was going, and it's one each.
Very good penalty, wasn't it? When he got cramp after it again, you could see the way he limped away.
Now the referee is watching Joe Hart very carefully here. Hart came up to the edge of his 6-yard box, waiting for Montolivo to gather the ball, place it in the spot. Hart still talking. The referee happy now that Hart's back on his line. Montolivo shoots wide. England have the advantage.
Well, I thought I'd nestled in the bottom corner from where we're sitting, but take the advertising boards behind, and you just say, Wayne Rooney steps up now.
Well, they haven't got an advantage yet, but they may have. Wayne Rooney has had mixed fortune with penalties over his career. The man, of course, initially banned for the whole of the group stage, then able to play in that final game against Ukraine. One of the biggest kicks of his career, of course, he wasn't on the field to take a penalty in the World Cup quarter-final against Portugal. So Rooney's taking his time, trying not to look at Buffon. Can he give England a 2-1 advantage here in this second penalty after Montolivo's miss? Rooney scores beautifully. Buffon was never going to get that, and England have a slender 2-1 lead.
Yeah, he sent him the wrong way. Very good penalty. He took his time. Good run up. Look as if he's going. Reverses it inside the foot. Sends Buffon the wrong way. Very good.
Andrea Pirlo with a huge responsibility for Italy now. Arguably the man of the match. Only John Terry went remotely close to Pirlo in terms of the overall player of the game. But Joe Hart has the advantage. He knows now. Both arms are outstretched, standing in the centre of the goal. Joe Hart making himself look as big a figure as he possibly can. Pirlo, short run up. Pirlo chips it over Hart. Fantastic penalty.
He's definitely man of the match. Wow, what a time to do that. That's fantastic. Just shows you the confidence the guy's got. He's had a wonderful game, and what a penalty that was. Wow.
So it's 2-2, but England have an extra penalty, and Ashley Young is going to take it for them. Ashley Young has to really put this one in to give England the advantage of 3-2 up against Gigi Buffon. Young hits the bar. Young hits the bar. England have lost their advantage. It's back to 2-2.
I've got to say, not the goalkeeper saved one penalty, either keeper. One miss, one hit the bar. The rest to put it in. He's went down the middle with a lot of power. He's lying back slightly, rises, hits the bar.
England's advantage has gone at least temporarily. It's 2-2 on penalties after each side have hit 3. And that's one of the Italian substitutes, not Chirino, placing the ball on the penalty spot. Again, arms outstretched from Joe Hart, not Chirino. Comes forward, and he slips it in beautifully. Hart goes to the left, the ball went to his right, and now Italy are in front.
England won the driving seat and Italy under pressure. They've reversed it now as Ashley Cole walks forward. Another very good penalty by Nocerino.
England have lost their advantage. Young hitting the bar. That was one Ashley. This is another. Ashley Cole, 98 caps, is normally pretty cool from the penalties. He has to put this one away though to keep it 3-3. Otherwise the Italians are going to be favourites. Ashley Cole stepping forward. Buffon to beat. Cole is normally cool. And here comes Ashley Cole, and it's saved by Buffon. Saved by Buffon. Missed by Cole. 3-2 to Italy.
I've got to say, I've seen Ashley Cole take penalties before, and he normally runs up and thumps them. Every time I've saw him, I've never seen him take a penalty as soft as that. I don't know if he's tired or what, or the goalie's taken him out, pressure. People say about all this, mate, until you get that spot, you don't realise what it's like.
The former West Ham player, Diamante, has a penalty to win the shootout for Italy. He'll strike it left-footed. Hart has to save. He can't save because the ball is slipped past his right hand. And Italy, the best team in the night, overwhelmingly the best team in the night, have won the shootout, and they will face Germany in the second semi-final in Warsaw.